Yo, what's going on, fellas? How we doing today?
What up? What up? Good morning.
What's up? What's good?
Hello.
So, you guys had a good episode yesterday?
Oh, W
like
host. W host.
Fire,
Thanks,
fire.
Mars.
Hey, it was something crazy yesterday, or no?
It was a W host yesterday.
That was
that's
the
it?
craziest thing. Yeah, just W host.
Why is that the craziest thing? You sound surprised.
No,
I mean,
not
I
at
was
all.
expecting that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Was it anything else crazy?
Listen, I didn't get to stand up on stage with the mayor of my city.
Mm.
You know, I didn't get to do anything crazy like that.
Yeah, hey,
Look at the humble host. Humble host.
W host. It was two W hosts, one in Seattle and one in Toronto.
There you go.
All right, fellas. Well, in light of this super chat in front of us, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Shonen Goat Takes said, I got smoke for chill for coming at Eli Manning's Hall of Fame case. Don't disrespect the New York Giants legend.
Come on, man.
Talk to him.
I don't know.
How you have a guy with a
anything
losing record? What do you make it out of the first? He only made it out of the first round of the playoffs twice. Now, granted, he won Super Bowls both of those years, but come on, that's not too easy to get into every Hall of Fame. I'm sick of this Hall of Fame talk.
Chill. You haven't
What up?
nothing to say to that?
This was for you right off the bat.
Welcome.
Jay. Welcome, Jay. The
Mhm.
super chat's for you.
I got smoke for chill for coming at Eli Manning. Don't disrespect the Giants legend. I ain't say that he wasn't a legend. He's fantastic. They should build a statue of him outside the arena. But
Agreed.
the fact that he's never made the All-Pro team one time in 16 years, not one time has he made the All-Pro team. I think he was a Pro Bowler 4 times. Now, if we're talking about a guy being an all-time great, if you're an All-Star once every 4 years, that makes you an all-time great. If you're an All-Star once every 4 years in 16 years, and on top of that,
Reggie Miller was
right, and that to be honest with you, when we talk about guys like Reggie Miller, we talk about guys like Reggie Miller, and I don't talk about guys like Reggie Miller like I talk about Jordan, like I talk about Bryant, like I talk about Dwayne Wade, like I talk about guys like that. That's a difficult task for me. But a guy like Eli Manning to be an All-Star once every 4 years and to never make the All-Pro team, I'm having a difficult time with that in terms of being mentioned in the same breath with guys like Tom Brady or the all-time great quarterbacks. Was he the best quarterback in the history of the Giants? Yeah, he was. But in terms of being when you're talking about Montana, when you're talking about Dan Marino, I mean, as good as Eli Manning was, he was not better than Dan Marino. No, he wasn't. On no level was he better than Dan Marino. So,
Dub, do you feel like Eli Manning gets enough love?
Bro, I'm an Eagles fan. What the hell you think I'm gonna say?
Okay.
Like, I don't want him in the Hall of Fame, but I mean, if we're gonna do the football thing, we could. Is Kurt Warner a Hall of Famer? Did they induct him?
He is in the Hall
he
of Fame.
made the Hall of Fame already. Yes, he is.
So, do you think if Kurt Warner made it, do you think Eli should make it as well?
Isn't Kurt Warner an MVP and a Super Bowl champ?
I think he won the MVP twice, Tom.
Yes, he did. Yeah, I'm fine with Eli now.
Eli Manning got 0, yeah.
I'm fine with Eli not being the Hall of Famer. I mean, the Hall of Fame in football is just harder to get into. So, I mean, it is what it is.
They actually say that about what Tone says about the Basketball Hall of Fame. Football Hall of Famers say that about the Football Hall of Fame. Guys like Deion Sanders, they say that all the time, that the Football Hall of Fame, it's a cakewalk. They induct anybody. And again, I want to make sure that I'm clear. I'm a big Eli Manning fan. But when I think about the creme de la creme of quarterbacks, Dan Marino, John Elway, Joe Montana, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, I don't think about Eli Manning like that. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think he gets in like eventually. I think he's one of those guys that eventually gets in over time. I don't think he's going to make it the first ballot.
Them two bowl games and them two bowl games and them two MVPs gonna get him in.
The two bowl games against the two Super Bowl wins against Tom Brady himself. Like let's be honest, that's gonna get him in eventually.
That's gonna get him in. That right there is gonna get him in. That right
I don't
there.
think so. I don't think so because I think in football they care just as much about what you do in the regular season and in the postseason. So the fact that he didn't do with things you said, like the All-Pro, the MVPs, and even the stats, like there were some years where he went wild, but then some years where he wasn't. I mean, I just don't see him getting in. I don't see him getting in at all.
I think he led the league in yards twice in his career, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think he led the league in yards twice, something like that.
All right, y'all.
So,
We're gonna bring
yep.
it back to basketball. Well, Players' Choice Gridiron on Wednesdays. That was just a snippet, a sneak peek. If y'all want more Eli Manning talk, if y'all want to know why he should be in the
I'm
Hall
coming
of Fame
through.
and
I'm
why
coming
they're
through,
gonna
by the
build
way.
a statue of him outside
Yeah,
the
you
stadium.
keep saying that, but then you never come.
I'm gonna come through. I am. I'm gonna come through there.
Let's do it, man. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna come through there.
Especially with
really
your team not having a quarterback.
I gotta
We
see
do
your
have a
hot
quarterback.
takes.
Anyway, go ahead, Ron. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yo,
that's true.
Ticket, what's
true,
good
that's
with you?
true.
How you
From
living,
Carolina.
Ticket?
What up, man? What's going on, y'all? No, I was just reading this article this morning how the Blazers didn't want Tyler Herro in a deal with Dame, and so that was quite interesting to me. They said they had no interest in Tyler Herro, so I don't think that deal's gonna go down. I think it's gonna be like I said. I think they want, if it's not Bam, if it's not starting with Bam, I don't think they want the deal.
Yeah.
Chris
Yeah,
Mannix from Sports Illustrated just reported that this morning. Said they don't like Tyler Herro. They don't respect his 20 points per game. I was amazed when I saw that part, but
They don't need him though. They don't need him like that though. So
no. I had gotten into it with the other kid the other day. He was telling me how they would take that deal, and I was just like, bro, if I'm a GM on a different team, I'm not starting no deal for Dame unless you give me back you know what I'm saying? You gotta give back an all-star.
Yeah, you didn't like that at all, Ticket. You was not trying to have no deal with giving up Dame, and if Bam wasn't involved in the deal, you was not trying to hear that.
Right. I mean, if you're a GM, you gotta. I know it's about honoring the players and stuff like that, but if you're a GM, you still got to make sure that you do right by your team going forward too. I can't just give players away. That puts you in horrific situations. The same one with Brooklyn. I still think Brooklyn made a bad deal with KD and Kyrie. There's no way you get rid of KD and Kyrie and don't get no all-stars back. No, you know what I'm saying? No, I don't understand that, bro.
I don't. To be honest with you, go ahead, Dub.
I was gonna say I actually like what Brooklyn has set up for him for the future, right? They got picks, they got young guys coming up, a foundation that they could build around. So I think the Nets has done actually a good job of getting those guys out of there. Of course, they're not going to compete for now, but getting rid of KD and Kyrie, you just got to bite that bullet. And I think they've done a good job. But what you were saying about Portland, though, like I actually agree with when you were saying it. Like if Portland was a smart team, bro, you can't just give up Dame for Tyler Herro and then other guys. Like what are we talking about? It has to start with Bam, but Miami would never go sign off with that because if Bam is gone and it's just Jimmy and Dame.
What's the point of bringing in Dame?
What's the point of getting Dame? Exactly.
The point of point of bringing in Tyler Herro is it looks like it's a team friendly contract. Number one, number two, you starting over. So you're probably not going to get back what you again. Usually, when you trade in superstars, you're not going to get back that kind of value. Same thing happened in Brooklyn. Like Ticket, you just talked about both KD and Kyrie, them moving off of them. That was a failed plan. So with that failed plan, they basically scrapped the plan and they start picks back that they gave up for James Harden. They got most of their picks back that they gave up when they got Ben. They got most of their picks back when they gave up James Harden and when they gave up Jared Allen. When they got I believe it was not Kevin Durant, but when they made two trades and they got most of their picks back, and I think they got a potential all-star in Mikal Bridges. So they basically starting over with that aspect. Now, when you talk about the Miami Heat, I think you're talking about a first-class organization from top to bottom, because like you said, they don't want to give up Bam. But also, I was also reading that Pat Riley couldn't talk Mickey Aronson into the Bradley Beal trade because of the tax exemption. He was like, no, what it's going to cost us to get this guy on our roster and then to have to move him later, that just financially does not make sense. Now, that's a smart organization as opposed to somebody doing it because of the optics. Hey, Bradley Beal averages 23 a game. He averages 30 a game. Let's get him on the roster, not thinking that, what is this going to cost us in the future? And how bad is this going to be for us 2 years down the line? Because we're trying to win right now. We ain't trying to win in 10 years. I mean, like, we ain't really building nothing.
That's what that was my whole point to Dub. I disagree with Dub said because if you thought they had better deals on the table for KD, they turned down. I mean, Boston was willing to give you. They was willing to give you Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, a first round pick, and what you call it for KD. That deal alone right there, just for KD, and then you know what I'm saying. That's way better than anything they got. I don't care about the picks because the picks can be bust. The picks can be flops. I'm getting the dude that's.
I thought Boston was relinquent with Marcus Smart though.
No. Look, they just showed you what it was because they just traded Marcus Smart. So they had to been willing to get up off of him because it wasn't like he was untouchable. But that was just for KD that Boston was offering you that. So if I can get back Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart in a deal just for KD, well, damn, I can go flip Kyrie Irving because he was playing at an all-star level too. Going into the all-star break, I can at least get a couple first-round picks and some good role players for Kyrie and some top-notch role players for Kyrie. I could have reset my team in a much better way. I just think that they failed in how they resetted that team because I think Mikal Bridges is good, but I disagree. I don't think he's going to be a perennial all-star or anything. I think he might make one all-star team, two maybe at the most.
I do want to go back. I do want to go back to the Portland thing though, because if you are, and anybody can answer this, but if you are rebuilding a team, you're not building for next year. Right? Mm-hmm. If Portland does that, if they move off of Dame, they're saying, hey, we're going young. We're going to build around Scoot. We're going to build around Simons. We're going to build around those guys who are 2 to 3 years away, right, from being who we expect them to be. So bringing in a guy like, and I thought it was Herro and Robinson, two guys that do something that your new best player, Scoot, can't do, which is shoot. It actually made sense because if you have a guard like Scoot, what you want around him is shooters. So it at least keeps them competitive, exciting, I guess, and 2 first-round picks. Because what's going to happen? Well, you know it's going to take 2 or 3 years for him to develop. Well, in 2 or 3 years, Robinson contract, I believe, is off the books, or at least close. Tyler Herro's, I think, is only 2 or 3 years left, so his is off the books. So now you have a veteran, 3-year vet of Scoot and a 5-year vet of Simons, or however many years he's been in the league. And now you'll have a bunch of money to put, if you don't like those pieces, other pieces around them. And those 2 first-round picks, it actually makes sense for Portland because to say Bam, well, you're only going for a player like Bam because you want to win now. They're not winning now with Scoot, Simons, and Bam. So I'm actually confused by why, and we're going to get into the CBA and all the other issues with the money later on in the show, but that trade actually did make sense to me because you're right. You're not getting the same value back for a star when you're trading them, and you're bringing in 2 guys from Miami. Well, hopefully they can show you some of that Miami culture that everyone talks about being so great and beautiful. And don't you want young guys learning that way? Because that's the right way we all keep saying.
Wouldn't it also? Go ahead, take it. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I was going to say they always hurt. And when it's time for one, so how can they tell you about something they always hurt when it's time?
Man, I hate
I'm just saying this. And secondly, Herro's going into the first year of his $130 million contract, and so you're bringing him.
This year that just passed, ticket or next year?
No, he's going. No, the article says right here he's getting ready. He's going into the first year of his $130 million.
So this season coming up.
Yeah. So this season coming up. Okay. Yeah. So if you think about that. I just signed Anthony Simons to that money. He's playing my 2. What am I going to do with Herro if I got Anthony Simons playing the 2 and then we bring in Jeremy Grant back at the 3? That makes no sense. So if you asking me, I'd rather have Jeremy Grant than I would have Duncan Robinson at $100 million plus. Duncan Robinson is on a $100 million contract basically. So you mean to tell me I'm going to tie up $230 million, which is going to be how much more? And Duncan Robinson and Tyler Herro? Hell no. Two guys who couldn't even get premier minutes with the Miami Heat in the playoffs, one because he was hurt, the other one because he's in the doghouse. No, if I'm giving up Dame, I'm looking around the league at all the offers I'm getting around the league. I'm getting stars back from other teams for Dame. So I don't just have to give you to Miami. You don't have a no trade clause. But I'm going to do you right, and I can get a list of teams, and then whatever deal. Trust me, it's better deals out there for Dame Dollar. It's teams that'll give up an all-star right now for Dame or a dude who's a star in the league for Dame Dollar.
But or even just more picks as well.
I just pulled it up. Duncan Robinson has 3 years left at 18 and 19 million. That's technically friendly in today's NBA. Herro, you're right. It's $30 million, but again, 4 years. So again, my point is, while those guys develop, because you're not trying to win right now. Just let's be honest. Well, in 2-3 years, those become expiring contracts that you can easily move. That's all I'm saying.
Which is
the thing is, I want to say, my bad, Chill, is with Hero being there, he can hinder the development of like Scoot, Simons, and that Cam Reddish that has it, and Shane. Yes, I mean, if there's too many guards, it's redundancy. Like you need, it's too many guys that needs the ball in their hands, so they need to develop their game, and Tyler Hero would take away from that. They don't need it. They don't need it at all.
Shooting
now,
I think he'll take away from Anthony Simons. I don't think he'll take away from Scoot. Scoot's your on-ball point. You'll develop into a playmaker after the playmaker.
Right.
And another thing, to piggyback on what Fluent was saying, when we had that conversation, because I was one of the main people giving pushback to the ticket about the Tyler Herro deal, the main point behind that was we were assuming they are being it's a friendly move for Dame. They're being loyal to Dame because Dame's been loyal to them. And if Dame came down and said, okay, it's only 3 teams and Miami's one of them, if out of all those 3 teams, Miami's giving you the best package with Tyler Herro, Duncan Robinson, a plethora of picks, or another role player or a young guy like a Jovic or whatever it was, then that's why you would do the deal. Obviously, if you have all other 29 teams throwing deals at you and you can get something better for your team, take that deal for Dame. But that was all under the notion that, okay, they're being loyal to Dame. Dame saying, I want between Brooklyn, Miami, and Phoenix. And okay, out of all 3 of those teams, Miami's going to give you the best package. So pause. So I'm going to rock with that.
Well, also
I'm tired of this whole damn thing.
I was for real. I was for real about to get to that too, Ron, because number one, Tyler Herro, I think he's better in a rotation role than he is as a starter. I think that's where I think that's where his best minutes come from. But the flip side to that is guys like Sharp, right? The guards that are playing behind him or playing in front of him, he may hinder their development. When you trade an all-star, a superstar like Dame, we starting over, and if we starting over, like Tone said, if we years away, we trying to develop these dudes. Well, I'm all for competition. But with that also being said, if I got a guy on my books for a lot of money, I have to play him. So now that means that a guy like Sharp, now that means like a guy like Simons, guys like that who now they playing, now they're playing, but I also got to play Tyler Herro too. And I don't want to slow up these guys' development in the process of playing.
Not Simons. You mean little. You mean not shit.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Why do I have to play them? Or maybe they showcase him and then trade him for more picks. The problem is, you guys, it sounds like everyone's talking out of both sides of their mouth, because it's like, well, you can't give up Dame without getting value back. Well, if you get value back, what are they going to want? They're going to want to play. And so then you're going to do a bad deal where it's a bunch of nobodies, and then everyone says, oh, they got robbed because they got a bunch of nobodies. Well, it's because they're not going to play and they want these other guys to develop. You have to take something back. Like when you have $40 million in Dame or $50 million, however much Dame is making, somebody's coming back who's making a lot of money. You don't have to play them if you're rebuilding. That's
you do. Tone, hold on, Ticket. Tone, you can't justify having a dude on your books for $30 million and you're not playing him. You can't justify that.
So I don't think you move Tyler Herro.
So who do you move Dame for?
That's why I'm thinking you need a third team involved. That's why I keep saying, Tone, we need a third team involved in this. We got to get a third team involved in this. We have to.
But Tone, are we looking at this? Are we looking at this backwards? Are we looking at this in the wrong way and saying that, they're starting over? Maybe they need to get rid of Dame and the other big dude, and they can become a contender. You get rid of Dame and the other dude, get assets that help you become a contender, because you can still bring back Jeremy Grant. And then for Dame, maybe you can get back a player who can actually help you get further than what Dame helped you.
You think it could be that quick of a fix?
Yeah, because listen, when you got a superstar like Dame Dollar, right? Now I'm talking, okay, so we talking the creme de la creme of the NBA and some deals that can be done. Right now, guess what? The Clippers are in business. The Clippers just put out the report last night. They probably not going to pay Kawhi Leonard or Paul George their max extensions that they're due for right now. So what does that mean? One of those two guys might be able to get moved. And so now I'm looking at the scope of the spectrum. A lot of guys are up for extensions that may not get them. AD, the Lakers may not give him his extension. How is he going to feel? So, hey, man, it may be deals that could be done because these dudes don't have no trade clauses. And teams are going to be looking out for themselves with the new CBA coming up because of the rules and the way that the money is going to be structured, and the cap is going to be structured going forward. So I do think that a guy like Dame, if you get a team that's desperate enough, you might be able to, before the trade deadline. Let's say for example, the Lakers are not doing well, they're struggling. AD and LeBron is not working the way we thought it would work coming off of them going to the Western Conference Finals. They're around a 500 team. The Lakers saying, you know what, we're not going to pay this dude the extension. We're going to trade him. Well, damn, you might can get pulled AD for Dame. Now, what does that do to a team like Portland? If you throw an AD over there,
with the same amount, not unless they're making this exact same amount of money, though.
No, I'm saying, but Dame is making what 40, 45. AD is making around 40.
Yeah,
AD is making around that. Right. Or you can look at different situations, bro. It's a few different situations that can be looked at out here, bro. Like I said, with the Clippers, you can look at the situation. The Clippers are imploding. They did all that to go get an old boy from Houston last year that shoot all the threes. What's the boy's name? Eric Gordon. And he's let him walk yesterday. You just let him walk in the free agency now. So they're blowing that team up right now.
They have to. I'm saying, the salary cap is crazy. And just for the people in the comments, 45 versus 40, the Lakers and unless they get another player, they cannot make that $40 million trade anymore like they used to. You used to have a 10% cushion. You can't do that anymore because those are both second apron teams. And you can't bring in $1 more in excess salary than you're sending out anymore if you're a second apron team. So I know we're going to get to all this, but the rules are making it really hard to make any of these trades now.
Right.
Even with another player, Tom?
Unless you get exactly 45, like you have another $5 million player, but who's that? I don't know.
Man.
One thing I do want to say about the what Damo said about Miami and stuff, and what I think Portland should do in general, like it's so simple. Just you gotta trade Dame for picks, a plethora of picks, and that's something that Miami can't do right now. And I think they could get better offers from other people. Right?
Tone, why do you hate that? What's your problem with that, Tone? Why do you hate that?
No, it's not that I hate it. It's just you can't trade $45 million for picks. You have to bring back $45 million.
You could.
Even though Portland is under the cap. Portland is not over the cap now. Portland is under the cap now. Portland isn't a team that's 15, 20 something million dollars over the cap.
Hey, does that do that for y'all though?
Right now they're over the second.
Hey, Tone, does AD? Let me ask y'all that question. Does AD?
There's only 12 teams. Just under half of the teams that are not under the second apron. In terms of the first apron, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, nine teams are under the first apron. 3 are in that first apron, and then the other 18 teams of the league are all second apron teams, which has now handcuffed what trades they can make.
No, I was asking.
You don't have to get $45 million in return, though. You could always get less. It's the other team that needs to worry about that $45 million.
Yeah, but when they're both second apron, they both.
Let me ask y'all this question: does AD, in y'all's mind, because this situation is getting real? I mean, Brian Windhorst just reported that LeBron really wants to play with Bronny. Bron just put out the thing about him going to Atlanta next year if Bronny gets drafted by Atlanta. He had to opt out after this next season. The Lakers saying they don't want to pay AD going forward, but they're going to want to sell tickets. Do you think if things don't go right, do you think that if they were to trade AD in a deal for Dame, do you think that AD moves the? No, hold on, let me finish my question.
Keep going.
Do you think that AD moves the needle in any way with a team that is structured around him, Jeremy Grant, and the rest of those guys they got over in Portland? Do you think that takes them better than what they are now, as far as with Dame?
No.
So with LeBron James, he can go to the Western Conference Finals and win a championship. But if he goes to Portland, he can't lift their ceiling up none.
Not without Dame.
With a rookie point guard, Anthony Simons and Jeremy Grant, they are a playing team, maybe 8th, 7th seed, which is still playing.
Okay, so that makes the point of when I told you guys that LeBron James made AD then, because I mean that's basically what he was. That's basically what he wasn't. No, I'm saying that's basically what he was doing in New Orleans, right? I mean, in New Orleans, they was barely making the playoffs most years. The year they did make it, they finally went and got Rondo. They got Boogie one of those years he got hurt. But so you guys are saying y'all don't think that AD moves a needle.
How many of those Pelican years was Drew Holiday unavailable or hurt? Ticket.
Most of them.
Right. No, I'm saying no. Listen what I'm saying. That's my point.
If we're gonna talk about AD playing without LeBron James, please let's be honest about what he was playing with in New Orleans. It was not just consistent years of having competitive teams and him not being able to get the job done. A lot of those years, his second, third, fourth, fifth best players were not available when they were hurt. And the times they did go to the playoffs, he averaged 30. I don't know how.
Hold
I don't
on.
know how we're here. We
But
got from Dame to now we're questioning can AD. Take
Hold
the
on, but that's
team?
not true. That's not true. It was AD that was hurt most of those seasons. It was AD that was missing most of those games. You're
That's
saying
not-
Drew Holiday, but
that's not
AD
true.
was missing most of those. You know what I'm saying?
That's not
AD was missing. Hold on. Drew Holiday was the only dude that played 81 games one of those seasons in New Orleans. I remember it. But AD
Okay,
was missing. They both were missing a lot of games. They
So
both were
how
playing
many
the same
games-
amount of games.
How many games was he missing? Because I'm looking at it right now, and I know this because I've had this argument about AD. How many games do you think he was missing on a year-to-year basis?
Who, AD?
Yes. How many games? Rough
In New
estimate. How
Orleans?
many games in New Orleans? Yes.
No, I'm saying he was missing the same amount of games as Drew Holiday was in New
No,
Orleans
he wasn't.
on average.
No, he wasn't.
How
He
not?
wasn't. He wasn't. Ticket.
You
Drew
Hold on, you got to
Holiday
remember they had the
What?
one shortened season. You got to remember that. Remember they had the one shortened season, so we can't count that, right?
No, he came in the year after that. Ticket.
Who, Drew Holiday?
Oh, you're talking about Drew Holiday. I thought you were talking about Davis.
No, it was another. Yeah. No, I'm talking about Drew Holiday.
Year one.
Okay, you're
year
talking about
one,
Drew Holiday. I thought you were talking about Davis.
Anthony Davis. Year one, Anthony Davis plays 67 games. Drew Holiday plays 34.
78.
Year-
The 2012-2013 season, right? Yeah, that was AD's.
Yeah.
Yeah. He played 70 years.
14. In year 14-15, Anthony Davis plays 68. Holiday plays 40. In 15-16, Anthony Davis plays 61. Holiday
65.
is that gone? Oh, there is. He plays 65. So around the same. So he plays 4
Hold
more
on,
than
but
8.
Holiday wasn't the second best player on that team. The second best player on that team was Tyreek Evans.
Who
Tyreek
also
Evans was
missed
out there putting up.
And then
No, I'm saying
75.
Tyreek Evans played 79
Holiday.
games.
It's not that. You're right.
Tyreek
It's not
Evans was
that.
better than who?
Tyreek Evans at that time was better than Drew Holiday. At that time, he was better than Drew Holiday, and so was
What time is this?
What year?
Hold on, we're talking about 2014, 2015. Tyreek Evans was better than Drew Holiday then.
It's not that different.
I'm just.
In fact, it looks like Davis probably plays around the same, if not more, over those 5 years.
And how many games did he play the next year? So in 2015, 2016, who was the second best player?
In 2015, 2016?
Yeah,
Okay,
Let's
well,
just put it this way, Damo. In the 6 years that Anthony Davis played with the New Orleans Pelicans, on average, he played 68 games.
Well, hold on. It wasn't Drew. Hold on. Well, you can say it was Drew Holiday, but that year Drew Holiday played 65 games and AD played 61. So, and I mean, then you had Eric Gordon on the team. He averaged 15. Enos averaged 15.9. Tyreek Evans averaged 15.2. Ryan Anderson averaged 17.
Tyreek only played 25 games. So if he was the second or third best player, he's not there most of the season. Like I said.
But Ryan Anderson played more games than AD. He averaged 17 points a game. That was his second leading scorer. He played 66 games.
Even if that's true, though, Ticket, when you play with a great player, isn't that going to elevate your game? And if you don't play with a great player, that doesn't mean that you're not awesome, but that also doesn't mean when you play with a great player that they made you. Because I was awesome before I got with you. I wasn't an all-NBA performer. I was a first-team all-NBA performer. I was a first-team all-league defender. I was an all-star, perennial years. But when I got with you, I started winning more. That doesn't mean that I wasn't doing work before I got with you, though.
So did you feel that way about Kyrie?
Did I feel that way about Kyrie? Kyrie was doing work, yes. He hadn't done anything outside of the he hadn't won anything, though. That doesn't mean James made him. That doesn't mean that James made Kevin Love.
Let's stop right there.
These dudes weren't doing anything.
Hold on. Well, you know how I get down. Let's stop right there then. So if Kyrie never plays with LeBron, what is his career, y'all?
We can't do No, you did not. So if that, okay, let's talk about that for a second.
That's the casket right there. That's the casket. Let's go.
That's not a casket.
Well, without
LeBron, his ceiling is Damian Lillard. His floor is Kemba Walker. What are we doing? There we go. What's the issue?
And not only that, he had already been there 4 years, and they hadn't sniffed the playoffs. They hadn't sniffed it, and they had the number 1 pick in the draft 2 more years after he got there. Now I don't know what Andrew Wiggins is going to look like with Kyrie Irving. I know that Anthony Bennett didn't look like. They definitely wasted a pick with him. Tristan Thompson was a big time role player, but if they keep building that unit like that with Kyrie Irving as the man, is Kyrie Irving taking them to the NBA championship? I don't know, but I can tell you this: we got to get to at least the playoffs first, and they hadn't sniffed that.
Right. So okay. My last question would be this then, right?
Is the casket open? Did I just get out of the casket? I think I just got out of the casket. I don't know. I think I just got out of the casket. Hold on.
You're not the casket because you're the same dude that didn't even want Kyrie now in his prime. So you're not out the casket. You're the same dude that says, nah, I don't want Kyrie. You reject Kyrie right now, and he's in his prime. He's a 50, 40, 90 guy, averaging 27 points a game in his prime, better than what he was back when he played in the finals. He's playing at a better level these last 2 or 3 years.
No way.
He's a current all-star. Yeah, I mean, he is. I mean, that's just the fact. If you look at Kyrie's game, his game is more refined.
Mm-hmm.
He's a better all-around player than he was back when he played in Cleveland. He was still younger in Cleveland. He was a young kid in Cleveland.
A better all-around offensive player is what you're saying.
I mean, just better all-around basketball player right now.
So, and everything that I ran down to you probably 2 weeks ago when we had this conversation of what we saw with Kyrie Irving since he left James.
Right. No.
Since
So
he left James.
my whole question to you, brother, was this, and you didn't answer my question. What do you think Kyrie Irving would have been if he never played with LeBron? Do you think he would have been a world champion? Do you think he would have had the look? Because he didn't even make top 75.
That's an impossible.
No.
Because you do that.
Hold on, Tone. Hold on, Tone. Keep going, Ticket. Keep going, Ticket.
Tone says that's impossible, but we seen what Carmelo's career was when he didn't play with the Detroit Pistons, right? Now, if Melo came into the league, Tone had all these super high expectations for Melo, right? And he said Melo never reached none of those expectations Tone had for Melo, right? So let's go back to what we saying about AD. Before AD played with LeBron, what was it? What was your expectations when you see AD coming in?
Let's get off AD. Let's stick to your original.
That's where it started, though.
Let's stick to your original question about
actually going to Miami.
That's what we was at. We were talking about Dame in Miami. But to your original question that you talked about with Kyrie Irving, I don't think Kyrie Irving is leading a team to the NBA championship. No, I don't think that.
No, I'm saying. So, what do you think he's? Hold on 1 second, Ron. What do you think he? I mean, I'm still asking y'all. How are we looking at Kyrie if LeBron never comes in the picture? What are we saying about his career?
I think that he could eventually get a team to the playoffs. I do believe that. I think that he could eventually get a team to the playoffs, and then now you need some things to go your way. But from what I've seen from Kyrie Irving since he left James as the man with teams in the playoffs, it's not been very good. It hasn't been.
So then my last question to you was my original.
One time, though.
Hold on, in your multiverse ticket, like what could happen is, Kyrie gets drafted and they keep Andrew Wiggins, and hey, maybe Anthony Bennett pans out if he's playing quality minutes with Wiggins and Kyrie, and it's a whole different like there's so many things when you bring up hypotheticals. You don't know. Kyrie might get pissed off,
bro. My whole question.
Team. He might pull a Kevin Durant and go join the Warriors and win three. You don't know.
My whole question was would AD lift the ceiling of the Pelicans? You guys told me no.
You said
that's what y'all just told. That's what Don told on. I asked you. I said, would he lift the ceiling? Right? Would he lift the current ceiling of the Blazers right now if he was traded for Dame? You guys told me no. I said, why do you feel that way? I said, why do you guys feel that way if y'all have so much high praise for him right now that he's with the Lakers?
Well, number one,
I think because it's cast. I said because of the rookie point guard, the young guard in Anthony Simons, just having Jeremy Grant and then Nurkic, who, I mean, what is Nurkic going to do for you behind AD realistically in the West when you got to go through Jokic? That's why it's not the best of Joker. It's not a slight. It's not a slight at AD. That team is just not built to win anything. I don't think replacing Dame for AD is just going to magically change anything. Just like I don't think replacing Dame for any solo star player in the league is going to magically make them super better. I don't think no one can do it with that team.
Which is why they need to get rid of Dame. They need to stop. Look, it's such a toxic relationship both ways. Yes. Dame needs to stop holding the city of Portland hostage, and the city of Portland needs to stop holding Dame hostage.
It's not toxic.
No,
Ron is up in Portland, so Ron, what's the pulse of the city, Ron, with Dame? Are you guys over him, or what's the deal?
It's like 60-40. Like Dame gets a lot of love in Portland, a lot of love, but it's like when something just gets stale after a while.
It's kind of corny. It's getting kind of corny.
It's not a toxic relationship.
He's the greatest player to ever play for the Trailblazers. We get it, but
that's all.
Respect
You heard
Clyde
Ron?
Drexler.
You heard Ron?
Respect
It's
No,
not
he
a
is not the
toxic-
greatest player to ever
it's not
play
a
for
toxic
the. You
relationship.
saying that? Tone saying that like it's not even a question. Damian Lillard is not the greatest player to ever play for the
Yes.
Trailblazers, hands down. That's not true.
Yes.
He's just trying to disrespect Bill Walton, but it's Clyde.
Who is? Hold on. Who is?
Drex,
Bill Walton.
Drex.
Okay.
You're drafting today. You're taking Drex over Kyrie,
Yeah,
over Dame.
Two finals appearances.
Yes, I am.
They gotta let it go. Let it go.
Ain't nobody gonna talk that shit about Chill Town. What he just said in the comment section.
What did I
he
just
And I
say?
always say something when I bring up a question, and everybody in the comment section would talk all this crazy shit about me. Just talk greasy. But anybody else say something, it's cool. We gonna let that shit slide. You know what I'm
What
saying?
he said. I mean,
Wait,
Clyde
what
is the
happened?
best. Clyde is the best.
No.
trailblazer.
I mean, no. He just had obviously Fluent just had a problem with what Chill said, but ain't nobody got a problem with it.
Because Chill's right.
No, I'm saying Fluent has a problem with what Chill said. I want to know what Fluent's problem with what Chill just said.
Oh, you want
Are you scared to
Me,
go at
me,
Chill?
me, me too. Ticket.
Go at him.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Yeah,
Who, the me or the chat?
no, you.
I got muted. I don't know
Why
who
do you
muted me.
disagree? Why do you disagree with Clyde Drexler being the greatest trailblazer?
Because I think
I
Clyde
think it's
Drexler
basically saying stop ducking smoke.
Clyde Drexler is overrated. Let's be honest. Come on.
Overrated
now.
how? How,
he was
Tone?
a-
Over now.
he got,
First and foremost,
compared to Mike because he got compared
Because if
to
you're
Mike.
picking him, because if you're picking Clyde Drexler over Dame, you're not watching basketball. Like he was nice,
Okay.
but he is not a guy that if I have to pick between the two, I'm picking Dame over Clyde Drexler.
why are you picking Damian Lillard over Drex? Why?
Because I think he's a better ball handler, he's a better guard, he's a better shooter, and they both were kind of equally defensively. So when I look at the two
Okay.
players, I'm picking Dame every day, all day. Every day, all day. Now he didn't have the
So
same team.
hold
But
on
that's-
for a
that's-
second. Keep going,
team
Tone. Keep going,
success-
Tone. I'm sorry.
The team success has to do with
Right.
the people around them, the years that they played, the competition,
Right.
all those other things. When I look at
Sure.
player for player, I'm taking Dame over Drexler because he does
Right.
more on the basketball court.
Okay, so let's talk
He was
about the
nice for
defensive
his
side.
time. He was nice for his
Right,
time.
he was nice. 100% he was, Tone. But let's talk about
Fluent
so
is crazy.
Yeah,
So let's talk-
That sounds like a disregarding
That's
error.
back
Right there.
talk.
That's what it sounds like.
He's
to me.
praising losing, Mars. He's praising losing, bro.
So let's
No,
talk
I
about so let's
take
talk
that
about so
out.
let's
I
so,
said take that
so,
out.
so let's talk about the defensive side of the basketball, Tone. Just so you know, Clyde Drexler is the only guy in NBA history that's in the top 10 all time in steals and never made the All-League defensive team. That's never happened. In fact, not only was he one of the better defensive players, the Portland Trailblazers invented the hustle board. So he was one of the better defensive players, hustling, steals, rebounding. Drex was that guy. Not only was he that guy, we're talking about a guy who finished second in the league in MVP votes to the Airman, to Michael Jordan. Now, we can't say that about Damian Lillard. As good as I think Damian Lillard is, we're also talking about a guy in Drex who did average 25 a game in a league during that time where I believe the average scoring was around 100 points a game. He was averaging 25 a game, and he was second behind Jordan in everything. Any guard in the NBA, not named Michael Jordan, he kicked their ass. Drex probably the best transition. He was one of the best transition players in the game during that time. One of the best one-on-one players in the game during that time. Just so you know, Tone, he made the All-Star team as a point guard. He didn't even make the All-Star team as a two guard. He made the All-Star team as a lead guard, and he got moved over to the point, which suggests his versatility. Add all of that up to the defensive side of the basketball, and how that translated into the postseason, where they went to the NBA Finals not once, but they went to the NBA Finals twice with him as the man. Now, when we're talking about a guy in Damian Lillard, I've seen him as small as he is, but as good as he is, I've seen him do work, but he wasn't as good as Drex. No.
So here's the thing. You're comparing him to high regard because you're saying he was second next to Jordan. We all know that wasn't. It was a big man's NBA back then. So when I look at player for player, I have the better ball handler, the better playmaker, the better scorer, and I don't think the defensive difference makes up that difference what he does on the offensive end. So if I'm picking a player, and that's what I said, if I'm picking a player to start my team, I'm taking Dame over Clyde every day. And again, that's disrespect to Clyde.
No, it's not.
It's just I have Dame over Clyde because of all the things he does offensively are better than what Drex did. Now, yes, the team accolades. He led his team to the finals. Sure, he was second next to Mike. Yes, that's why we hype him up, I think, is because Mike was the gold standard and he was the next best thing. But if you take Mike out of the equation and you just look player for player, which is what I said, I'm taking Dame's skill set, Dame's ability, Dame's talent over over Clyde's, even though, like I said, I don't think the defense is that much different. Again,
I think that to rebut that point, Tone, you said he was second to Jordan, even though it was a big man's league. Just so you know, he was second to Jordan, who was the best player in the league. It wasn't like he was second to Jordan, who was the best two guard in the league. No. So if you take Jordan out of the equation, we're talking about Drex as arguably the best player in the league, as opposed to Damian Lillard. At no point did we ever say that Damian Lillard was the best player in the league. At no point did we have that conversation of him being the best player in the league. He was.
Jordan, sorry to interrupt, but I have to say, Jordan being out doesn't make Clyde the best player in the league. There's gap. There's other players in between there. There's Olajuwons and Malones and there's other players that are better.
Correct.
So it doesn't.
But
he's still where he is.
But with that being said, we're comparing Drex to Jordan, who was the best player in the league. We ain't comparing Drex to Olajuwon. We're not comparing
best guard.
But he wasn't just the best guard, though, Tony. He was the best player in the league. That's the difference. It's not. It's one thing to compare him as the best guard.
Clyde is the second best guard to Jordan in that era, not the second best player next to Jordan in that era.
Fair. That is.
And also, if we want to be real, I mean,
we'll talk about it tonight.
If we want to be real, Clyde did have a better supporting cast than Damian Lillard.
That's why the answer is Bill Walton, but people are gonna hate anyway.
Oh jeez, Bill Walton isn't even top 75.
Haters gonna hate.
I think I might go with Dame. I'm not gonna hold you.
No, Bill Walton has Portland's
Brandon Roy.
Brandon Roy is crazy.
Now you talking.
The thing about Clyde that gets me upset is like people remember like that '90s series against the Pistons, but then every round before then, like he didn't play well in those finals. Like his postseason, him in the postseason isn't like amazing. It isn't great. But the counter to that is Dame. Yeah, the counter to that, Dame's postseason success is ridiculously bad. So that's why it's like it evens out.
Yeah, that's why it's Bill Walton.
He did that in one series where
it's not Bill Walton. He did it twice, and it's not Bill Walton, Mars. And the reason why it's not Bill Walton because there wasn't success sustained. I mean, how many years? How
many championships do Portland have?
One.
Because of who?
Was it because of Bill Walton?
Who else would it be because of? Primarily it would be because of Bill Walton.
All right, part-time.
I don't know. He wasn't part-time in that postseason. I'm not saying solely. I'm saying primarily.
No, I like it. I can work part-time and get all the credit. I love it.
Hey, in all seriousness,
that's what happened to Kawhi.
Yeah.
Fluid and chill. In all seriousness,
he played 65 games that year. My bad.
How good was Bill Walton? Fluid, I need you to take your bias out the way. Okay, how good was Bill Walton? No injuries.
It's not injuries. The thing is, Bill Walton's legend was because of what he did in college. He had a couple of nice seasons in the NBA. Yes, like an MVP season that people disagree with whether he deserved it or not. He won an NBA championship with Portland as their best player, absolutely. But if you look at what his NBA career was, it was riddled with injuries, and he played the equivalent of like 6 seasons, right? And some of those were in Boston coming off the bench playing like 15, 19 minutes a game. So my thing with Bill Walton is the sample size of him being great is so small. It's like 2-3 years that's why I don't rank him, because longevity is part of the equation, and he just didn't have it. Again, it was because of injuries, but that's why I can't rank him.
Well, I'm saying
at his best, he was really good. He's really good. Yeah, he was a really good center at that short peak that he had.
During that short peak, though, would he, like if that, let's say, would have been sustained for 4 or 5 years, will we seriously be talking about him as one of the all-time greats, one of the all-time great big men?
Yes.
If he had done what he had done for like 5 or 6 years, we're probably having a conversation of him. Could he be in the top 10 of centers? Yes, probably. But he didn't. Okay. But he didn't. But yes, hypothetically, you could. I think that.
He's still Portland's greatest player.
All right, so I got some super chats.
The Eagles' greatest player ever.
There you go. Yes.
I don't know who that is, but sure.
Who?
That helps my argument.
Nick Foles is the greatest Philly quarterback.
They got a statue of him outside the arena.
That sounds like good to me. That sounds like good to me.
So Doug Peterson's their greatest coach because they got a statue of him too.
There you go. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, according to Mars logic, the Philadelphia Eagles, how many Super Bowls they got?
Uno.
Who they win it with?
Whoever this Nick Foles guy
is. And not only is it Nick Foles. Go ahead, Dub.
He beat probably the greatest quarterback in NFL history. He beat the GOAT after he threw for 500 yards, Marge.
Oh, he was
it was already done twice before.
So think about
that was over.
Think about LeBron or like MJ scoring 50 and 60, and then the other players still be able to overcome that and beat them.
Oh, like KD
like Larry Bird did when he scored 63.
And wait. Let's not downplay. I mean, Nick Foles caught a touchdown in the bowl game. This is a quarterback. Caught a touchdown in the bowl game.
Yeah.
Oh, so versatility.
Yes, absolutely, Mars. He caught a touchdown in the bowl game.
And that same game, Brady dropped the pass, bro.
There you go.
He showed him up.
All right, so I got a super chat.
And
from my man Will, I got a super chat. He said, in my opinion, injury context matters, judging individual performance. We know bone spurs is why Bird in the 88 Eastern Conference Finals shot 35% from the field, and his true shooting percentage dropped 16%. We can see.
True shooting percentage is flawed.
If you're out there, there's no excuse.
Yeah, if you're out there, you gotta roll with the punches, man. There's been a lot of dudes that's been hurt that balled out.
That's it.
And then he followed up and said, like Dame playing with separated ribs.
I knew he was talking about Dame because every time I see Will in the chat, he's talking about how Dame is the second best offensive player after Jokic.
I mean, we've seen dudes perform at high levels injured. We saw Giannis on that leg injury go out there and put on one of the greatest finals we've seen performances, especially in the closeout. So
I want
ever had
the super chat to confirm his name is pronounced Wael. Just go ahead. All right, go ahead.
I just want to make sure that we clear when we're talking about injuries. If anybody in here has ever had a stomach virus, I mean, I'm watching Jordan in the finals. I couldn't even stand up and I had a stomach virus. This dude goes into Salt Lake and puts 44 on these dudes with a stomach virus. James has cramps in the finals in 2012, where he could hardly run and sticks the go-ahead 3 to win the game. So when you're talking about injuries, when these dudes is out there, that stuff goes out the window.
Mm-hmm. You're right, bro.
I want to hear about those cramps, man.
I played sports with cramps. I'm sorry. That's not moving me. I was fighting somebody with a cramp. Well, wrestling, but I was literally going through it with a big ass cramp in my leg the whole entire time. I'm not hearing about cramps, bro. I'm not hearing about it. Bro. I also watched them unable to play in 2014 with a cramp. So I mean,
how was you fighting that cramp off, Dub? Was you doing a stanky leg?
So I caught it, and this is gonna sound like a pause moment, but Stuart, I caught it while I was on top. So as I was on top, I was pushing all my weight onto him while stretching it out at the same time, just trying to hold him down.
You caught it.
Damo, that sounds super wild, don't it? Look at Damo. Hey, Damo. Chill out, Damo. Damo so wild.
It just kept getting worse. It just kept getting worse.
Yeah, it was like bomb. I caught a cramp when he was on top, and I stretched it out. Like, okay, dog.
You said an AO moment. It was an AO moment after moment after moment.
It was an AO sequence, not a moment.
Hey, quick side note. If I gotta watch Zion Williamson do a 360 dunk one more time in a camp, I'm gonna lose it, yo. I'm telling you right now. I'm gonna lose it, man. I'm telling you. I can't handle this.
Girl pregnant too, chill. She pregnant, man.
Who?
Marion.
Yo, I don't want to talk about it.
The other chick.
I don't want to talk about it.
She dropped the test yesterday.
I gotta ask one question.
Man, y'all can't fall for that. Y'all falling for that. Don't ever fall for that.
Hey, Bob.
Trust me, I know. Do not fall for that.
One question.
I'm falling for it.
Did she really tattoo Zion on her face?
Yeah. No, she put a fake tattoo, but she put a fake tattoo, but she took the test and took the test and it's positive. She is, and listen, I believe her. Listen, I'm gonna tell you. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you why.
Let me ask you. Be dead serious. You really think that's Zion, baby? Like, let's be
100%. Yes. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you why. Yes, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why it's gonna be his too. These girls are smarter than what you think. First of what she did was she finagled her way around the NDA, the non-disclosure agreement. Secondly, she's smart because Zion's a young kid coming into the league, and this is why I think it's very important. Again, you got these vets on the teams, man. It's very important. That's why I thought that Memphis made a great move by bringing Marcus Smart over there. You need those type of dudes on the team to keep the young dudes in. When you're 19 years old, bro, and this is why they stopped letting dudes come out of high school, Fluent and Chill, and all of y'all, and going straight to the NBA. Because once you start giving them a kid like that hundreds of millions of dollars, 15, 20, 30 millions of dollars at a time, now you got all this free time. These dudes online, they surfing stuff. Now, guess what? I can live my fantasy. But guess what this girl is thinking? Oh, I got this 19-year-old boy right here. he's done. So all she gonna do is
how's Marcus Smart gonna keep Zion off honey buns?
She's gonna do what? Well, hold on, but she probably cut everything off she was doing and focus on Zion to make sure she had that trap baby by him. So she makes sure that I'm only dealing with you. And now when it comes up, the next 18 years, you on the docket, son. So now you ain't on the docket for one right now. You on the docket for two.
Not even that. You know what she could have done? What she could have done was, with the people that she was messing with, she just cut it out for a while until she was just getting dumped in her by Zion. That way she could get pregnant. And then after she got pregnant, she probably getting dumped in by a different one. You feel me?
So you know what? You know what they need. You know what they need.
That's what people do. I'm dead ass.
We serious, bro.
Hold on. Can we just?
He's not on the court, Damo.
Wait, hold on.
Maybe moving like that, bro.
She waits until Zion drops the baby reveal, gender reveal video to get mad and then drop the news that she's late. She was late when that happened. Then 2 weeks go by. Now she's saying she's pregnant. And I'm going to be honest. When she dropped the and guess who's late text, I promise you, I tweeted that. I'll go find it. She's going to be pregnant in a week or two, guys. Don't fall for the bait. It's not his baby. She literally went out and said to get pregnant by anybody.
I guarantee you.
What Zion and all these young cats need is our friend Trista Crick, friend of Fluent and Chill. She has a thought protection program. That's what they need.
Man.
Now,
who was it?
Need her thought protection. That's the thought. Yes, thought protection.
Damo, you know,
thought like that or thought like that.
Yeah. Hey, Damo. It's easy.
He's hitting her up because he's hitting her up because yes, he probably really did mess with that girl. Like he probably really did care for her in some whatever way, whatever capacity. But she's doing all that. Yes, he hit her up to try to stop her from embarrassing herself any further and dragging his name. She tweeted more times than he's played basketball. He's trying to get her to stop. That doesn't mean he's hitting her up to hit still. Like
he hits her with the Maury Povich. She hits him with the Maury Povich, and he is the father. What you gonna say, Damo?
Oh, I will sit right here on this camera and say, bro, I was so wrong. Zion's an idiot. But being that Zion is from my hometown, I know how these things go. I know where his mind probably is right now. He's not hitting that girl.
He ain't hitting the basketball court. So what is he doing? He's doing something.
You underestimating how much of a freak.
Zion, y'all are purposely ignoring the signs that this woman is just a crazy attention seeker because y'all want to crap on Zion so bad.
You ignoring how horny this man Zion is.
I disagree, man.
And y'all are forgetting that it's other women. Y'all are forgetting it's other women. He is still in the other women's DM.
This is Ron. I'm sorry, Ron. I'll open the door to this. I apologize.
No. Hey, chill. I'm gonna leave it. Hey, chill. I'm gonna leave it at this. All I did was Google Zion in bed, his name and bed beside it, and it came up with him and this white girl, this Caucasian girl, and he's telling her while he was at Duke, "Come meet me up. Let's get it on right now." I said, "Bro, this is crazy." If you Google that right now, that's what comes up. Zion's a freak, bro. Period.
She posted that girl, that blonde girl, posted the whole "this is what happened, how he invited me out." Yeah, that's a while ago. That was a while ago.
Yeah. So again, case in point, he's a freak.
We knew he didn't have no game. He was just the guy that was going to use the fact that he played ball and has money to get women. We did knew that.
Hey, Ron, Dom to be mad when that test goes.
Big Z coming on the way.
18 years.
That baby gonna come out with a grown man head. All right. Let's keep it pushing.
That baby gonna come out with a mustache and a beard, man. Come on, man. Stop playing.
The baby gonna come out looking like Blake Griffin, and we're gonna be sitting there looking like, well, we know that's not Zion, baby. So.
There ain't no baby. There ain't no baby.
Oh, you think you just lying about the whole test?
No, my thing is this. I learned this back a long time. She got to take that test in front of you first. First things first. Don't accept no picture of no pregnancy test.
I do the same thing. I do the same thing.
Ron,
you got to.
Hey, Bob,
I've been dealing with this.
You're not going to the bathroom. Bob's coming in the bathroom.
Bob's going to the bathroom with you.
You're going in there with
you.
You're going to do this right in front of him.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious.
Oh my God! I'm sorry, Ron. It's my fault, Ron.
Bob's crazy.
Nah, Bob,
I'm gonna step all the way back. I'm gonna step all the way
Can I get some privacy? No. Go ahead.
No.
Bob, I still want to hear from you, but I got a super chat for you from World Peace. I know you like players like this, so I want to hear from you first. Shawn Marion or Andre Iguodala? If you could put one on the Sacramento Kings right now, which one you going with?
to play on the Kings, it would probably be Shawn, but I like Andre Iguodala though.
You talking about prime?
Yeah, in their prime, I like Andre Iguodala over Shawn Marion. I think I got Andre over. But if you talking about which team like to play on the Kings right now today, I want prime Shawn Marion.
Yeah, I think he'll fit them more better than Iggy.
Yeah.
What do you guys think Shawn Marion does in this NBA today?
Get a shot, punch in his face. That's it.
Depending on who he's running with. It depends on who he's running with.
You can't be mad at.
He would have had to fit. No, he would have had to fix that shot today. It's too much length and athleticism on that perimeter to where he would have had to fix that shot.
I don't know.
He'd have had to fix it.
I thought he should have. Yeah, he had to fix that shot for his whole career. It still worked out. So, I mean, if it worked out,
Lonzo Ball had to fix his too.
Are we
but he couldn't make shots. That's why
he used to get it off so quick.
Are we forgetting how good Iggy was on the Sixers though? Like I feel like we're thinking of Warriors Iggy. Like think of Sixers Iggy. He was nice.
Hey, what?
That's why I chose Iggy. I think Iggy is over Shawn Marion in their prime, at their peak or whatever.
Y'all serious? The Matrix.
Who made more All-Star teams?
I don't know about the All-Star teams. I don't know if any of them. I don't know. I have no idea. All I'm saying is I think
I don't know you, bro. I'm just asking.
I think it was Shawn Marion. I think Shawn Marion's like a 4-time All-Star, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think Andre Iguodala did. Andre Iguodala even make the All-Star team?
He made one. I know he made one.
He made it.
So he did make the All-Star team one time.
Hey,
Shawn Marion's been All NBA before, I think.
Right. He had a stretch. Marion had a stretch for like 5 years where he averaged them at 20, bro.
Yeah, he did.
And 10 ticket.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. And 11. He's averaging 11. He's at one season. He averaged 11.8 rebounds. I can't put a year over him, bro.
Yes, sir.
He averaged 11.8 rebounds and 21.8 points.
Yeah, he was a 20 and 10 guy.
Yeah, I can't.
Now they were that was the 8 seconds or less offense. So, but he was rebounding the basketball with the best of them. Yes, he was.
But look at his defense.
He got a Finals MVP.
No, but I'm saying his defense, he got 1.7 blocks per game that year, 2 steals per game, 11.8 rebounds, and 21.8 points. I don't think any season
Marion,
who averages more in the finals?
I think Shawn Marion is an all-league defender too. I want to say he's an all-league defender. I'm not sure.
He was never all NBA, but he was always a good defender, versatile.
Yeah, I thought he was an all-league defender at some point. I know Iggy, so that's Iggy. Iggy was an all-league defender. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think he was.
Shawn Marion never made all defense.
No,
I thought he was an all-league defender
because he was at the forward. But you have guys like Ron Artest, Andre Carrera.
There was a lot of guys he had to compete
Bruce
against.
Bowen, guys like that.
Kobe.
Okay, buddy.
Kobe. I think 12 times, Mars. 12 times.
Forward position, though.
Oh, forward. My bad. I'm tripping.
Hold up.
Help me. My bad.
Moving along, Shonen Goat Takes said, y'all making me spend my money. No one is saying Eli is a top 10 quarterback of all time, but his accumulative career gets him there. Shaking my head, L panel, Dub Damo.
Where am I getting now? I ain't saying nothing.
So, see, these
first and foremost, I'm one. Right. First and foremost, yesterday when we had this conversation, Dub, I don't know if you were here. Can anybody remember what I said? What did I say in terms of Eli Manning being a Hall of Famer? I said he was a what Hall of Famer?
First ballot?
Yes, sir. But the fact that he didn't make the All-Pro team or any of that, I do have a problem with that. That doesn't negate the fact that I still think he's gonna be a first ballot Hall of Famer. So
he made the Pro Bowl. You're not saying that he made the Pro Bowl 4 times.
Yes, he did. He made the Pro Bowl 4 times. So yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
What is it?
How'd you have an All-Star game in the NFL? How's that work?
It's right before the Super Bowl.
Like football game now.
No, but like, because in the NBA All-Star game, no one tries. But in the NFL All-Star game, if no one's trying, what are you just playing? Like, how'd you tackle?
Well, first of all, it used to be really competitive, Mars. Just so you know,
It used to be a good game too.
It used to be really competitive. It's now a flag football game. So essentially, what the NBA, what the Pro Football All Star game is if you can imagine in soccer, imagine it just being penalty kicks the entire game. That's all it is. Like, it's not an actual game anymore. It's just penalty kicks the whole game. And whoever gets the most kicks wins the game.
I don't think it's like that. Think of,
we don't even play football. We play flag football. No tackling, no hitting, nothing.
Penalty kicks is a wild thing. Like, that's so different from what they play.
Dub, we don't tackle. We don't hit. No shoulder pads.
I agree.
None of that. You can't put hands on guys. None of that is going on. All you're doing is 7-on-7.
So if you tackle, it's illegal.
There is no tackling, no shoulder pads. It's 7-on-7. That's all it is. It's a flag football game.
You know what flag football is, right?
Yeah, that's like the one the little kids play, right? Where you
that's what it is, Mars.
Yeah, we did that with rugby in the UK. Where
think about this. Just forget the name for a second. Forget the name. Forget the name. Eli Manning played 16 seasons in the NFL. He only made 4 equivalent of all-star games in those 16 seasons. He only went to the playoffs 6 times out of those 16 seasons, and he only made it out of the first round twice. And his record for his regular season was 500, I think, like 117 and 117. He is the definition of a mid quarterback. The only reason we're talking about this is because of those 2 Super Bowl runs. He was carried by his defense. Let's be honest.
Tony Romo clears. Tony Romo clears.
Tony Romo does clear.
Praising losing.
Joe Flacco clears.
That Eagles.
I don't know.
Flacco was not better than Eli Manning.
You want to talk about somebody getting carried by their defense?
No, he wasn't.
What?
Nah, Joe Flacco was a real thing.
No.
You should go back and look at his.
It's interesting you mentioned that. It's interesting you mentioned that Joe Flacco Joe Flacco was a real thing. Eli Manning, playoff Eli Manning was a real thing too. Yes, it was.
He played 2011.
No, because Fluent just said he got out the first round
in those two Super Bowl runs.
And the 2 years he got out the first round, you know what happened? They had a parade in New York. Those 2 years he got out the first round.
Hey, fellas.
But I know we got to go, Ron. I know we got to get back to the game.
To Players Choice Gridiron Wednesday nights with your very own host, Durag host,
Fred VanVleet.
Check it out. Yo, who said that?
The chat is calling him Fred VanVleet. I don't know.
Yeah, my brother just got.
Are you going to Houston, Fred?
Oh no! My brother just got recognized for Fred VanVleet. They asked for his autograph.
For real?
Funny as hell. Yeah, happens all the time, bro.
Did he give it to him?
That's hilarious. He should do it.
I got dubbed as Caleb Martin actually.
Yeah, that's my brother for real, Dub Martin. It's so funny. One of my other friends looks like Kemba Walker, and he went to China. So everybody in China thought he was Kemba Walker. He was taking pictures with all their kids. The funniest things.
That's wild. All right, y'all. Ethan, the
no one in China knows who Kemba Walker is, but go ahead.
They do. They said Kemba? Kemba? I'm serious.
Stop it. I don't believe that.
I'm telling you, I have the pictures.
You'll be surprised in China how in that they are on the NBA. They love the NBA over in China.
China loves the NBA.
I don't think most people in America would recognize Kemba Walker walking down the street.
Just based on that crazy run from UConn, he was a legend in America.
Oh, okay. All right, fine.
All right. Ethan, depressed Cavs fan, said, "Chill. You never paused that statement you made the other day. I love big guys. That was crazy."
That's because I'm comfortable with who I am, depressed Cavs fan. That's why. Because I'm comfortable with who I am. I'm comfortable in my own skin. See, you are the one who, when you hear stuff like that, you start to cringe. I don't cringe like that because I'm comfortable with who I am, brother. I'm straight.
Paulo C. Media said 3-team trade. Lillard to the Heat, DeAndre Ayton, Duncan Robinson campaign, plus multiple first-round picks from the Heat to the Blazers, Nurkic and Herro to the Suns. Money works. I proposed this the other day, but I'd like everyone's thoughts.
Who is Robinson?
Duncan Robinson. Yeah, Duncan Robinson.
So DeAndre 80, Duncan Robinson and campaign.
And multiple
first-round picks from the Heat to the Blazers.
We don't have great picks. Like, I don't know why.
I don't know why anyone would trade with the Suns. Guys, they're over the cap. They can't sign anybody. They're listen, we had, I don't mean to bring up football again, but just quickly.
I know exactly where you're going with this, Fluent.
Yeah, we had an NFL fantasy like PC thing, and this one guy had his auto pick on, and he got 7 quarterbacks. In his first 7
Shout out Trent.
And Trent would have 1,000% had to drop, obviously, those quarterbacks to get players, and you could have picked them up for nothing, and his team would have sucked because he had to pick up a bunch of free agents. What did they do, these dummies? They traded players with him to get the quarterback that they wanted. He goes out and wins the whole damn thing. If they just would have left this team alone, he would have finished in dead last. So now you got the Suns that have 4 players that take up, whatever, $180 million.
$161 million.
Let them die with those 4 players. Don't help them at all. Is if you ask me.
With that being said, though, somebody's gonna do it.
I know someone's gonna do it. That's the problem.
It was you, Ron. It was you. It was
I didn't trade with Trent. I didn't trade with Trent.
I didn't trade with nobody.
Okay.
Bro, I think Dallas is going to end up doing it, man. That stuff I heard Kyrie say the other day that he want to take time and make sure his next team is where he want to retire. That's
I don't think he's going anywhere though, Ticket. The reason why I don't think he's going anywhere is because he left Brooklyn because they didn't want to pay him. If Dallas pays him, I think he's there. I don't think he goes anywhere.
I tried to tell y'all about teams messing with Kyrie. I told y'all 2 months ago. Dale was up here talking about, oh no. Don't nobody got time to be dealing with Kyrie bipolar ass, man.
I think Miami is going to do it. I think we're going to get a surprise. I think Miami's going to try to sign Kyrie Irving. I think they're going to try to move off of Caboose, BBL, and I think they're going to try to clear up that space to get Kyrie Irving. I'm serious. I think Miami's going to, because Miami, they don't have options, bro. They don't have options, man, because everybody's going to want Bam. To get back somebody that's worth salt, they're going to want Bam. Nobody's going to want Hero and Duncan Robinson. They deem those guys as dudes who are injury risk guys, is Hero, and then another dude, they feel like he's overpaid in Duncan Robinson. So if you're another team,
why would Pat Riley, of all people, be wanting to deal with the inconsistency and the not?
Because the same reason why he took on
Jimmy Butler.
The same reason why he took on Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy had just as worse. He had just as bad of a rep. They destroyed Jimmy's rep. Jimmy's rep was horrible going to Miami.
Jimmy Butler's rep and Kyrie Irving's rep was not even
comparable. No, what Jimmy was considered.
I know what Ticket's talking about.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Philly let
I know
Jimmy
exactly
walk,
what Ticket's talking about.
Philly let Jimmy walk, bro. They let Jimmy Butler walk, bro, because they said he was a locker room cancer. The whole situation that happened in Minnesota that tainted Jimmy's whole reputation, bro. All that stuff that happened with Cat and those boys in Minnesota and Wiggins. Then you go. No, I'm just saying. I'm telling you, his reputation was cooked. It was cooked. Miami took a chance on him.
I hear what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but I disagree with the point that Jimmy Butler and Kyrie Irving's reputation or whatever was anywhere comparable in the same ballpark.
Let me ask you this question, Ticket.
Can we just go back? Hold on. Can we just go back a sec? Because I got to bring up the money. For Miami to make an offer to Kyrie as a free agent, they would have to clear at least $20 million right now. $20 million. So maybe I don't know what.
How much is BBL making?
I don't know.
34 29. Oh, it's 34. I thought it was
34 this season.
Yeah. So
there you go, right there, Tony.
Okay, so they can waive and stretch.
There's no way
we can waive and stretch. But once they did that, the most they could offer him is $6 to $10 million, which is the mid-level exception. So is he going there for $6 to $10 million?
Hold on, $6 to $10 million. No, I'm saying a sign and trade, man.
A sign and trade.
Yeah, because listen. I'm saying that those people. Hold on. The pieces they got fits Dallas. Dallas wants shooters and guys on the perimeter like they go with Luka. So the pieces they got actually fits around him better. Like if you telling me you sending Tyler Herro over to Luka,
it was 29. You right. It was
Tyler Herro and Duncan over to Luka. I love that now because now
I like that a lot too.
You open the court up for Luka Doncic.
Say the trade again.
No, the same guys you were saying to send to Portland, Tyler Herro and Duncan. If you send those guys to, if you send those guys to Dallas, I like Dallas now because you know why? Now you've really taken a lot of pressure off Luka Doncic because you've given him sharp shooters, knockdown shooters, like you said, guys who, like you said, been in winning environments.
So you're saying you're saying that same trade, Herro and Robinson, 2 first-round picks to Dallas for a signed and trade Kyrie.
You doggone right. You doggone right.
I get what you're saying, Ticket, with Tyler Herro and Duncan Robinson. I definitely see where you're coming from. I agree with that. I just still don't think it's going to be a great team But that might be my
it's better than it's better than them and Kyrie. It's better than Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic right now. Luka Doncic, Tyler Herro, and Duncan Robinson as a core is better than Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic.
No, it's not.
Hold on. Yeah, it is.
I can hear what you're saying based off the way the regular season ended, but with the whole summer together, with them working out who's taking these last minute shots and just kind of working the ball together. I think Kyrie.
They're not working out together. Hold on, they're not working out together. Kyrie's been in Cali with LeBron's trainer, with the Lakers assistant coach.
I see that, but these guys move around day to day, so I'm not just going to just based on him.
No. I'm saying Kyrie's in Cali. Kyrie's in Cali right now. They're about to do a camp. He's been in Cali the whole summer, pretty much.
Right, but
where you are doesn't matter. You're right. D'Lo was just.
Let's get back on this. Let's get back on this. Kyrie Irving and Luka are not as good a call. Let's get back on that. Yeah, let's get back.
No, but I don't think. Hold on, but I don't think that works. I don't think whatever situation they do the same thing, Doug.
Hold on, Ticket.
Let's get back on that.
Chilltown, I think Chilltown agrees with me when I say this. The reason why the Dallas Mavericks failed, it wasn't because of the continuity of Luka and Kyrie. They actually played pretty well together. The issue was their defense couldn't stop anybody. And that's why they couldn't make the postseason. So all they need to do is get Kyrie with some wing defenders and maybe a rim protector. That's a better continuity than fucking Luka, Duncan Robinson, and Tyler Herro.
No,
who's playing defense?
No.
Well, first of all,
Kyrie not playing no defense either, though.
You can sign. Hold on. First of all,
better defense than both of those guys. Stop.
You have 3 and D guys. You have 3 and D guys that you can sign at reasonable prices on the open market right now. They just
that's why you're gonna hold on. That's why you hold on.
No. I'm saying at a cheaper price that can just defend. I'm saying you can still get those type of guys. I'm saying, listen, if Kyrie Irving is coming to you and he's basically saying, look, I don't want to live here, I'm gonna go move somewhere else. Now you have to go get those pieces because he's in a different situation than Dame. He's an unrestricted free agent. So now you've already lost Finney Smith and all those guys to go get him. So the least you can do is go back and get. Now I'm getting 40% 3-point shooters to put around Luka. Right now they don't have nothing. They got Bullock.
No, Bullock gone. Him and Finney. What? Him and Finney Smith.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Right. So you don't got? They don't got no shooters. They don't have no except for the big dude.
Maxi.
No, the big Kleber. That's it. Kleber. That's all they got. Christian Woods is gone. So they don't have no shooters around Luka. I would rather have those guys around. I like that type of team around Luka better than I like him and Kyrie because him and Kyrie do the same thing. They do some of the same things, which is have the ball in their hands a lot, create a lot, and the other one's just standing on the side.
Well, I don't think that works. I go to fluent state of mind with this one. Why would I help the Dallas Mavericks? They so sold on Luka Doncic being there, this and that, man. Let them drown.
They're not going to drown just because they have nobody out there, right? So that means they have more people that they could sign. They could get a Brook Lopez. They could get a Jeremy Grant, who's a free agent. They could get. I think Bruce Brown's contract is up this year too. They could get guys to re-up on.
What's their stealing? What's their stealing with Kyrie? What's their stealing with Kyrie this year?
If they get a guy like Brook and Jeremy Grant with Luka and Kyrie, well, I think they could win the chip.
What?
That's how good that unit is. And Dallas Mavericks and
Dallas. Dog. Rewind. One more time, dog. One more time, dog.
You get Brook and Jeremy Grant with Luka and Kyrie, I think they can win. That's their ceiling. They could win the chip.
Hey, that's a good ass team.
Dirty team, bro.
Brooke brings a whole nother dynamic to that team.
Brooke is re-signing. Brooke is re-signing in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee ain't letting him walk out the front.
He probably is, but
they just reported it. He's re-signing.
I like
he's re-signing.
But hold up, because the thing is, Dallas, they're trying to move forward, not backward. They got a guy in Luka and Kyrie, a co-star to go with Luka. Why the hell are they going to go backward, back to just Luka being the main guy with a bunch of role players? They don't want to do that.
It worked for him.
It don't work for them. They lost.
They went to the Western Conference Championship.
We talking about? They went to the Western Conference Finals.
And they lost.
No, I'm saying, but they went to the Western Conference Finals. They got Kyrie and fell off the map. But here's the thing. When Luka didn't play, Kyrie won games. When Kyrie didn't play, Luka won games. When they played together, they lost.
Because the defense, Ticket.
No, I'm saying no. Well, where was the defense at when Luka didn't play, Kyrie was winning games. We all remember the big infamous game where he went to LA and smoked them in LA too. Kyrie was winning games when Luka wasn't playing. Luka was winning games when Kyrie wasn't playing. When both of these two was on the court, they was losing all those games. They couldn't close in the end of the game. They didn't know what they wanted to do.
Coach got to coach though, Ticket. Coach got to coach.
I don't think it's coaching more. I don't think it's coaching more than it is these two dudes getting together and understanding how to play off of each other. Now I can appreciate the logic that when they was winning, when Luka was out the lineup. I mean, how many games did Luka play? How many games did Kyrie Irving play with that Luka did not play? I mean, what kind of sample size is that? Same logic with Kyrie Irving. How many games did Kyrie Irving miss when Luka was in the lineup? But when these two dudes play together and they get that defense back together, because that's why they traded for Kyrie Irving. They traded for Kyrie Irving to take the pressure off of Luka for having to be the primary ball handler, for having to be the primary distributor, the primary playmaker for everybody else. That's what you get Kyrie Irving in there for. But I don't want to sacrifice that for. I don't want to do that to sacrifice my entire defense. I definitely got to get some more defenders in.
Is Luka great off ball? In your opinion, y'all opinion, is Luka great off ball?
We don't know. We ain't never seen.
No. I'm asking. Yes, we have. Hold on. We have seen it. We have seen it to a certain extent because we saw him playing with Jalen Brunson, and Jalen Brunson played a little bit like he did have the ball in his hands a lot some of the times that Luka was on the court.
I would have liked to have seen that a little bit more, though, Ticket, to be honest with you. I would have liked to have seen him and Jalen Brunson because him and Jalen Brunson actually looked pretty good with Luka playing off the basketball. They looked really good, and I would like to have seen that duo materialize as opposed to just now bringing Kyrie Irving in to basically do the same thing that was going on with Brunson because it looked like it was working between Brunson and Luka.
And how many games is Kyrie going to play?
Leading his team to the playoffs, and Luka's not.
Right. How many games is Kyrie going to play, y'all? How many games is Kyrie going to play? Let's be honest.
We don't know about that, but
we never know, Ticket. That's what I'm
know,
saying.
but Kyle Lowry's getting older too, and then Duncan Robinson, if his shot gets broke again, then they're fucked. So it's like what? Like it's a risk for both ways. And then
hold on. So you hold on. But Doug, you just said hold on. You just hold on. I'm gonna call it your hypocrisy right now, Doug. You just said that with Kyrie and Luka on the Mavs, if they make a turnover and go get a defensive wing and then a big like Brook Lopez, a defensive big, they could win the chip. But you don't think Kyrie Irving with a team that already is in the NBA Finals, you don't think he helps them get over the hump? Y'all got a defensive big and y'all got a wing that plays D2? No. Now you're in the casket. I want you to ask that question.
No, it's not the casket because I agree. I think Kyrie Irving going to Miami, I think we're a championship contender for sure.
So what's your problem then?
What you mean? What's my problem?
That was my whole statement is that Miami should get him.
I would love Kyrie to be on Miami for that deal, but for the Mavericks, if that deal for the Mavericks, that's a terrible look for them, and they wouldn't accept that. They would be stupid if they accept that because
I don't think that's bad both ways.
Our team gets so much better. What are you talking about? Kyle Lowry is not this guy that should be starting anymore. He should be off a 6-man role.
It's not about Kyle Lowry's there to match the money.
You're gonna be paying $29 million to come off the bench? Are you kidding me?
I mean,
that's why the Blazers trade fell through because the Trailblazers didn't want nothing to do with Kyle Lowry. They were straight. Like, no,
But I thought if you're paying someone, you have to play them.
No, I hate.
But it's not that simple, Tone. No, it's not that black and white. It's not that black and white. See, that's the part where it gets tricky. If you got a guy, a lot of times when you got a guy coming back on a contract, which is a 1-year deal, it's a good thing because it's a salary dump. But Kyle Lowry at $29 million, no.
But hey, do y'all agree with Mr. Masters? Mr. Masters says that he thinks that Lopez is a better defender than Bam.
Oh no, not at all.
What are you basing that on?
Not at all.
Rim protection.
Is that the separator? And
that's what it would be based on.
If it was based on rim protection, that would mean that the other stuff is close. Is the other stuff close? Is Brook Lopez as good a perimeter defender as Bam? Does he have the versatility that Bam does? I think he's just as good a rebounder as Bam. I'll give you that because he's bigger. But is he as good a transition defender as Bam?
Not even
stuff like
I think it comes from just saying they think rim protection is more valuable than the versatility Bam provides. So Brook Lopez being a great rim protector is still more valuable than Bam being able to switch, guard the perimeter, guard in transition. Whether or not I agree, different concepts, but I think that's where the stance comes from.
And I'd also like to say,
yeah, I don't think it's crazy.
I don't think it's nuts. But when
I'm not saying that either, Dub. I'm not saying that either, though.
Yeah, I don't think it's nuts, but I mean, I don't think that the gap is that far when you're talking about a guy in Bam in terms of his post defense, not just his post defense, his paint presence. Bam is definitely a problem in the paint. I think he's a better transition defender. I think his ability to switch on the perimeter. Brook Lopez is definitely a liability on the perimeter in transition, particularly. So when you don't have that kind of versatility, and Brook being primarily a rim protector, I can't put him over a guy who's a rim protector but does a lot of the other things better.
Mm-hmm. It kind of depends for me a lot. Well, not even kind of, a lot on the team around me. Like if I don't have anybody like, so for instance, Bam, how you say he can switch, he's more versatile. But I might not need that. You know what I'm saying? Like if all I need is a big to be able to hold down the paint, I will go with Brook Lopez.
Kind of do need that. You need that in this NBA though, Bob.
I was about to say that. When don't I need that?
They're gonna put you because see what they did was that's how they lost to the Celtics the other year when was hurt. All they did was put him in a pick and pop with Al Horford. Horford just blew his head off. No homo. He just hit every three basically in that series, and he couldn't get out. He refused to. No, I'm saying. He refused to go out on a pick and pop. And all Horford did was just run to the 3-point line every time.
I'm gonna be honest, that's Coach Bud.
Right, but
Lopez can't get. He literally can't get out there. Mars, he's slow.
Oh no, I agree. Yeah, I agree. That's why they shouldn't have lost PJ Tucker because PJ Tucker was the person who could do those things.
Oh yeah, he's in Philly. That's right. I'm gonna say with PJ. That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's what I'm saying. Though, if I got bigger guards, a lot of times the guard is just let themselves get screened like, oh, let my big do it. If I got bigger guards that play good perimeter defense, I might be willing to have a Brook Lopez as opposed to Bam Adebayo. Although I do think Bam is a better defender just based on his versatility. But my thing is, I don't always need somebody that can do everything. Sometimes you just need somebody that's really good.
That's fair.
At one thing.
I feel you on that, but let's say like Celtics. For the Boston Celtics, for example, because those are guys who are deep with like perimeter defenders. I think the defense is going to be more dangerous with Bam than Brook Lopez there, mainly because Bam could be a good shot blocker. It's just Miami just doesn't ask that from him, right? He could be a good rim protector. But on top of that, you have a freedom to be versatile and switch on everything. Like that's what was anchoring our defense. Bam Adebayo was going through hell this whole entire postseason, hell. And this man was going against guys like Giannis, JT, Jokic, and doing a phenomenal job at the same time being a help defender in there and hedging and switching on the pick and roll amazingly. Like a defender like that, like bro, I don't know how.
And don't leave out.
Is he untouchable? Is he untouchable?
No, ain't nobody saying that.
No. I mean, so let's just keep it real because I think this is gonna happen. I think that the deal may come up for Embiid that may involve a Bam. Do y'all do that deal? I'd do that deal today.
Bam for Embiid?
For a guy like that, you could trade him, but he's not untouchable. I think he's extremely valuable, though. Extremely valuable.
To add to your point, Dub, I think you just mentioned great offensive players, but also when I'm in the paint and I'm dealing with great defensive players, so I got to battle with Robert Williams in the paint. Also, I got to battle with other big guys in the paint getting rebounds. Right? I got to battle with other big guys in the paint, manning the paint. I got to battle with all of these other big guys as opposed to just dealing with, in addition to dealing with great offensive players. That's tough. That's really tough. And Bam held his own. He was all-league defender this year.
Oh, that postseason run for him, bro, was beautiful, bro. And I felt bad for him.
I mean, dealing with guys like Mitchell Robinson in the paint, dealing with guys like Giannis and Brook Lopez in the paint, right? Dealing with guys like Robert Williams in the paint and Hartford in the paint, dealing with guys like that.
Yo, come on, man. Them dudes ain't, man. Come on, bro. We acting like they Elijah ones or somebody, man. Come on, bro.
I ain't even. This is what I'm not doing. Ticket. What I'm not doing is I'm not talking about these guys offensively. I'm just talking about having to battle with these guys, right? So I got to battle Robert Williams on the backboard where I can get dominated. We saw what the Atlanta Hawks did to Miami, destroying them on the backboard. We saw that, right? So now I got to do that the entire playoffs where I got to deal with guys like Robert Williams. I got to deal with guys like Giannis. I got to deal with guys like Brook Lopez. I got to deal with Mitchell Robinson. I got to deal with Julius Randle and these guys in the paint. I got to deal with all of these guys, and I'm holding my own. That's all I'm saying.
All right, fellas. This is a perfect time to segue into me talking about our great sponsors over at Underdog Fantasy. It is an app or website where
brought to you by
some money and win some money. You see the promo code right at the top of the chat. It's pinned right up there. Go ahead and click that. Download the app. Use the promo code the panel, and you will get exceptional offers and ways to bring in some cold hard cash. Do it right now. Don't stall. Don't wait. Get to it. All right, y'all. I got a couple super chats, and then we're gonna go ahead and get into the CBA and talk about all that good stuff and whatnot. But Love the Game came with a super chat and said, "Is Kawhi Leonard top 25 all time? Top 20 peak, top 10 defender all time. Efficiency and scoring rises in the playoffs. Give me Kawhi on my team over Scottie."
No,
he ain't a top 10 defender all time.
No,
none of those. None of those, bro.
You can't. He's got almost as bad as Bill Walton. You can't rely on him, so you can't rank him too high because he's not available enough.
So Mark, you don't
And
think
you
he's top 10 defender all time?
No.
Since Mars brought up the accolades, which I really appreciate that. Just so you know, my man, in the super chat when you talked about defense, Scottie Pippen got more first team all league defender nods than Kawhi Leonard has all league defender nods overall. Just so you know, I was going to put that on your mind.
Kawhi has 2 defensive player of the years and Scottie has none.
And I'm glad you brought that up too, Mars, because Kawhi Leonard is going up against Draymond Green, Hassan Whiteside, DeAndre Jordan. These are the guys that he's going up. Draymond Green, Hassan Whiteside, DeAndre Jordan. These are the guys he's going up against. Rudy Gobert. These are the guys he's going up against for Defensive Player of the Year. Meanwhile, Scottie Pippen is coming in second and third to David Robinson and Hakeem Olajuwon and Dennis Rodman and Dikembe Mutombo. These are the guys he's competing against to be the Defensive Player of the Year. So I beg to differ on the Defensive Player of the Year logic.
Well, Jordan could win.
Jordan also.
And Jordan wasn't a better defender than Scottie, so what's Scottie's excuse?
My question. So wait, you're saying that Scottie's not a top 10 defender at all?
Neither of them are top 10. The top 10 defenders are all bigs, to be honest. But if you want to say perimeter defenders, they're in the top 2.
So wait, who's your top 10 defenders then, Mars?
I don't know. Bill Russell, Wilt, Hakeem. This is not in order, but Bill Russell, Wilt, Hakeem, Nate Thurmond, Dwight,
Mutombo,
Dikembe, Ben Wallace, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, David
Howard, David Robinson. You got to put your ball in there too.
Hold on. You think Dwight's a better defender than Scottie?
No, he said not in order.
I'm gonna take. It's not in order, but yeah, he's better than Scottie. Yes.
You got to put your ball in there too. Then, if you're doing that, Mars, you got to put your ball in there too.
Probably these bigs are going to be more valuable.
Not over Scottie, I don't.
These bigs are going to be more valuable defenders than these wings. That's just how it is.
Yeah, I don't agree.
Yeah,
I think it's harder. I think it's harder to defend. I think it's harder to defend the wing because guys are moving more freely and it's more of an open space to move than it is in the post. I think it's harder to be a lockdown wing defender. I got to give that to Scottie.
I agree.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I say like guys like Scottie, who we seen take guys out of games before with his defense on the perimeter. That's not easy. As a rim protector and as a post guy, you really worrying about a guy backing you down, jump hook, fade away, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then whoever may come to the basket, you might be a shot blocker, or you may be a shot blocker. But if you're on the perimeter playing D, bro, that's crazy, bro. You got to fight through screens, bro.
We've already.
I agree. It's harder. Like I'm not arguing about degree of difficulty. I think something could be more difficult than something else, but something else that's easier can still be more valuable. If the argument was which is more difficult, yeah, Kawhi and Scottie would be top 10. Tony Allen would be top 10. Like all these guys would be top 10, and I have no issue with that if it was a degree of difficulty thing. But you can do something that's more difficult and it still just be less valuable.
Like no. Like for example, you said Dwight. I think he's a better shot blocker, but as far as defender, I wouldn't say he's better defender than Scottie.
I'm gonna have to take Scottie too, or at least put him in my top 10, and I think he's in contention with most of those guys as well. Just because Scottie is like he impacts everything on your defense. He's a game changer on the defensive end of the floor. In terms
what
of
does Leonard do? What does Leonard do as a defender better than Scottie Pippen?
I don't have Kawhi over Scottie as a defender.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because this super chat said that he's taking Scottie over. He's taking Leonard over Scottie, particularly as a defender. So what does Leonard do? What does Leonard do as a defender better than Scottie Pippen? Because I don't think that there's anything he does better than
Only
Scottie.
the super chat can answer that.
I think it may be on
was a better player.
The reason I think Scottie gets undervalued as a defender, though,
yeah,
because the system that he was in with the players around him, they were a very defensive-minded team. No one's going to argue that Jordan wasn't also a great perimeter defender. Then in that second repeat, they had Brown Harper, Dennis Rodman. It's the same reason people knock Jordan's defense is because he had Scottie and those other guys. I think because of the way that they played, and they were very defensive-oriented, and the players that they had, I think that's why people knock Scottie. And when you look at Kawhi, maybe you see a guy who, we're always talking about him as being the best defender on that team and the lockdown guy, and I think he gets elevated. I'm not saying either one is wrong.
I gotta go at you about that. But didn't he do the same thing? No, hold on. I got Fluent. I got Fluent ass right now. Fluent, I got you right now. Didn't he come up under the Spurs defensive system, Fluent? Didn't he come up under the Spurs, Fluent? Let's not do that, Fluent.
100%.
I was just about to say that. I mean, he played his formative seasons. He played his formative seasons with a guy who's number one all time in all league defensive nods. He played his formative years with that, right? And not just playing his formative years
was old. Kawhi was clearly the best defender. That's all I'm saying.
Well, here's the thing, and people will say that Duncan is old. And my pushback to that is, even when he was old, he still was elite. I mean, he made first team all defense in the 2013 season. He still was an elite defender in year 17.
This is
right. So I know it's not your case, Tone.
I'm gonna make the case for him. Pippen had the advantage of a bad shooting era that was all about big men, where he could put his hands on people and hand check. Kawhi Leonard was a perimeter-oriented offense where he couldn't touch anybody, so it was harder for him to defend on the perimeter. That's why.
I'm glad. That's the reason why somebody will value Kawhi Leonard's on-ball capabilities
over Pippen's,
because of that. Because of the talent, the guards, he has to go up against perimeter players, where Scottie, he had the hand checking. He didn't go up against talent, as much talent as
it wasn't perimeter oriented.
That goes back to the degree of difficulty.
The degree of difficulty.
Yeah. Hey, Fluent, you nasty.
I just said I'm making.
That was a great. No, Fluent. That was a great comeback, Fluent. You're nasty. That was a great comeback.
Make a case for anybody. That's how good I am.
That was a great comeback. I ain't gonna lie. I just made me. Yeah, I thought about that.
I'm glad you pivoted, because you say just because he was on Chicago, I was like, oh, that's a bad.
I needed more time. To think about it.
That was a great comeback. I said, damn, he hit.
One thing I do like about Scottie, though, as opposed to Kawhi, I'm not saying Kawhi was bad at it, but I think Scottie was much better, and it's just his rim protection, his ability to go up, pin shots on the glass, block shots, and stuff like that. I think Scottie's very underrated in terms of that.
And his length, his ability off the basketball to disrupt your offense. So you got, I've said this countless times about Scottie Pippen. You got guys who are scorers. What do you do with a scorer? You don't let it, when you got a scorer that gets going, he gets going because he gets in rhythm. How do you get this guy off rhythm? You keep the basketball away from him. Scottie was a great off-ball defender. Scottie did a great job getting in the passing lanes, cutting off your angles, getting you away from the ball and throwing you off your rhythm. That's what made him such a great defender, in addition to him ball hawking. That's why you saw what happened in the 98 Eastern Conference Championship when Mark Jackson, who is now the lead guard, was not expecting Scottie Pippen to pick him up 94 feet. Man, come get this damn Doberman off me. Come start setting some screens so we can run our offense. So when Mark Jackson gets across half court and there's 13 seconds left and we got to finally get into our offense, that's because this 6'9" with a 8-foot wingspan is hawking me the entire time.
You guys want to see the baby? This was the Chinese baby I was telling you about. Can you see it?
No. Oh, who's that? Rapper, the baby?
Oh, that dude don't look nothing like Kemba Walker.
That's Kemba Walker, bro.
Nothing.
That does not. Okay, that's got to be racist that they thought that was Kemba Walker.
Yeah, that dude looks nothing like Kemba Walker. Hey, chill out, Lo. That is not true. We all know that.
It's a fake Lo. It's a fake.
Okay.
No, that's the real Lo.
Nah, it's the real Lo. I seen the AO podcast, John. You got the AO podcast and Lo right.
I do not overrate him. Even though he was a sidekick, so what? He was the best.
He didn't say sidekick. He said side chick.
Oh, I thought he said side. That's even worse. He was not a side chick. That is not true, Lo.
He wasn't a side. He was a co-star.
He was the star.
MJ settled. That's what it was. MJ had to settle for that. Like, he wanted somebody better. But he had to settle for Scottie.
No, he didn't.
It is what it is.
There wasn't nothing better. There wasn't nothing better.
If you can't win a playoff series,
sure there was.
you don't get to.
Sure, there was someone better. There was absolutely someone better. When they drafted Keith Lee, they could have drafted your favorite player.
Hey, can I ask you a quick question?
Dominique's not better than Scraper.
What's up?
I got attacked over this. I got attacked because of this today. I just want to ask y'all, just to see if I'm tripping or if the other people's right. The Warriors came out and said they're going to start Chris Paul, and I basically said that I thought that Chris Paul offsets a lot of stuff that Draymond does, meaning that he needs the ball in his hands. He basically facilitates the offense, and I think that's what Dre does. And I think that if you start him, I think you eliminate one of those two guys. Do you guys agree with that, or is that all?
You can't pay Chris Paul that much money and not start him.
No, I'm saying they could put him off the bench. Kyle Lowry was coming off the bench in the postseason.
Here's the difference, though, Ticket. Now, you talked about this was in the playoffs last year where you liked Draymond coming off the bench. Now, if you like Draymond coming off the bench, this would work if Chris Paul started, but he only started limited minutes. So, like, let's say you had Chris Paul on the floor 20 plus minutes. That's all you're going to get out of him. And Draymond plays the majority of the game. So so you can't have both Draymond and Chris Paul on the floor at the same time. If that's the case, then that may work. And if you're going to have Draymond and Chris Paul on the floor if you're going to have them on the floor at the same time, it's got to be limited. But if you're going to have if you can have Draymond off the floor when Chris Paul is on the floor for limited minutes, then maybe it could work. I personally don't think Chris Paul is a starter on an NBA championship team anymore or an NBA contender anymore, but that's just me.
But what about the closer line?
Starts, you can move Steph to his natural shooting guard position, then Clay at the 3, and I do like Draymond coming off the bench. It was a good thing they did in the playoffs.
What about that closer lineup then? What do they do? Do you bench Chris Paul or you bench Draymond?
You have to bench Draymond in the closing minutes because Chris Paul's
he's not going to hold up though, so I can't really I can't get used to that lineup because what's going to ultimately happen.
You can't play Steph, Chris Paul, and Clay defense.
I don't like this trade at all. But anyways, is it too late?
And on top of that, I can't get used to that lineup because let's say I get used to that lineup and it starts working, and then Chris Paul, who's ultimately going to breaks down. So now what's Plan B?
I'm not mad at the lineup. I love everything about it.
You love everything about it because you're a Sacramento fan and you definitely trying to get them boys bounced out the playoffs. That's why you loving it.
They did it.
Dale said yes, you can.
Bro, that's gonna turn ugly. The first time CP does something Dre doesn't like, and they get into that argument, he's not gonna be.
Which
Jordan Poole.
That's coming, Ticket. Just so you know, it's coming.
Yeah, I'm saying CP's not gonna be Jordan Poole. He ain't gonna just let you. He's not even gonna be KD. He's not gonna let you just talk to him any kind of way. CP is gonna bark back. That's just in him. So that's
during the game. Like we ain't gonna wait till we get in the back or we wait till we get off camera. No, it's gonna happen during the game.
Right. So that's the part I think I'm worried about the most with that team. It's just that element because if the game is on the line and CP's looking to get the ball to set up the offense and Dre gets it off the rim and he's trying to push it. That was the problem with CP and James Harden.
Lose his mind, Ticket.
I mean, that's what happened with CP. That's what happened with CP and James Harden.
No, I'm with you on this one, Ticket. If Draymond try to push the ball at the end of the game and CP right there for the outlet pass, he gonna it's gonna be some problems.
In the words of Bernie Mac, it's gonna be some smoke in the city.
Furniture moving.
Hey, but I don't. How do you guys like the dynamic of CP and Steph though? Does CP help Steph?
I think CP and Steph could be fine. The issue is like how all those other factors are going to come into play, right? Because I don't trust Draymond Green like running the 5 for a whole game and then having Wiggins at the 4. So like I don't see how they're gonna fit all of that together. It's going to be a weird dynamic, and they need to play Draymond. I'm sorry, they have to, because if you have CP, Steph, and Clay out there, Draymond has to play because he's a defensive anchor. So I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna fit. I think CP needs to come off the bench. They need to stagger their minutes that way. Draymond and CP can not play with each other that much.
But Dubs, kind of like what you're saying, and I'll just kind of asking if you elaborate a little bit. I'm kind of thinking even if they do start Chris Paul, then he's not going to get heavy minutes though, is he? Like,
I hope not.
Does that help Clay get better shot? CP?
Probably not. CP3. Oh my God! It's those like he don't create it as much as he used to. I'll just say that he
This
operates
is
a
why
lot.
that
In the
GM
And why is that, Dub? And why is
he ain't
that?
got his
Dub?
legs. His legs are finished. He only got his legs up under him.
Can you just say it for the people in the cheap seats? What's the problem with him?
His legs are finished. He's washed.
He's old. Say it, Dub. It's okay.
He's old. Yeah, he's old, bro. He can't create like he used to. So they're just gonna be running plays. He'll probably be on top of the key, just hitting guys coming off of screens, and then like
Tone
Draymond
hates
Green.
this. I don't know why, but he does.
And but I do think
anybody like this? Does anybody like this trade at all?
I do, but I don't.
No, you don't. That's a lie. You don't like it.
I know. I think having a backup.
If you can't figure out how it's going to work, it's not a good move.
Tone, I think he can create shots for Steph Curry. I think he can create shots for Klay Thompson in stretches. He can't do it like he used to do it, though. He can't do that. He still can draw the defense in, and he's still smart enough where he can manipulate the defense to get Steph Curry open. He still can manipulate the defense where he can get Klay Thompson, especially in transition, where he could get these guys open and get them good shots. He can do that. The question is how long can he do it? That's the $1 million question. Can he do it for?
That's the killer chill times when they said Mark J. Spears reported that they're starting him. That's the thing that made me say, well, now.
You're going to manage his minutes. You're going to manage. Of course, they're going to manage his minutes.
What happens with Draymond though in that offense? Like, what does he do now?
But that's only got to be for a couple minutes though. He's got to go to the bench quick to play a lot of second unit minutes. I'm assuming.
Yo, and I say this a lot too. I think that they can play together. I don't see what the big deal is. Chris Paul and Draymond are very highly intelligent basketball players.
Would Draymond at the 5 run? And Wiggins at the 4, Clay at the 3.
They can play basketball together.
Who gonna be grabbing boards for them? Like,
I mean, that's always been an issue though. Anytime they went to a small ball lineup, that's always been an issue. But
that's why they had a guy like Kevon Looney out there who could grab for him.
No, I mean, okay, well, Draymond at the 4, Kevon Looney at the 5. I mean,
Drew off the bench.
But nah, Drew's not going to come off the bench. I'm just saying, just different.
Right, start Drew.
For me, I'm not really I'm not Steve Kerr. It's not my job to put together their starting lineup. But I know it will be moments in time where they play on the floor, and I think that they can play well together. I don't think it's going to be too big of an issue.
I think Draymond may be out. He said on the Chris Paul podcast. I mean, he said on the Paul George podcast today. He said that he's meeting with the other teams and stuff. He said he's letting Steph and Klay know what's going on because he said they had a great run and everything, but he got to figure out his situation. So I mean, for me, I think they did it because they said Jordan Poole told the man, "Why you call yourself Money Green if you broke, and you'll be in Sacramento next year." If he told him that, I think that's what they told. I think they told that to young fella, and young fella ran his mouth, and that's why Draymond clocked him out, is because he was real disrespectful with that part. So I think Dre knew they was going in, because remember that tape leak. We never found out who leaked that tape. So I think they did that to try to hurt Draymond's value to make sure that they could get him out of there or get him at a cheaper price. I think that when the way the season went and the Steph and Klay vouching for Dre made it harder for them just to push him out. But I think this move right here to get rid of Jordan Poole with a young guy like that after you just came out and said you're gonna keep him, then you just trade him. I think that's because they see the writing on the wall. I think Draymond's gone. I think he either goes to Portland with Dame, or I think he ends up in Sacramento. That's truly what I think, man.
Why would he say that though? Because Draymond's not broke. So that doesn't even make no sense.
No, well, you don't know that. I mean, bro, TJ McCollum put out a study that 70% of the NBA players take a pay cut.
Okay. So I get what you're saying. I'm not trying to be nobody's
crazy to think that, Joe. Oh my God, that's almost 3 out of every 4 guys that's making that kind of money.
TJ McCollum, he works. I've told him what's his role in the league with the players. Yeah, he came out with the report last year and said that 70% of the guys in the NBA are living paycheck to paycheck.
7 out of 10
that's
guys.
Even when you came out with that, that's old news. People athletes go broke quick after they retire. You know what I'm saying? Just because you can't make $2 million a year and spend $15 million.
72% of pro athletes claim bankruptcy 3 years after they retire, but that ain't Draymond Green right now.
Well, still, so that's what I'm saying. I'm not. Draymond's not broke.
I mean, he got a podcast for a reason. Why not?
I mean, but that doesn't. You don't get the podcast to save you from being broke. You get it so that you build your wealth after you're done playing. He's building his media empire.
Yeah, he's getting money so that he don't go broke.
Well, anyways, I don't know if he's broke or not. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna assume that Draymond Green is financially literate. You know what I'm saying? Or he has enough people around him. So that's just the assumption I'm gonna make. So you know, I don't know. Draymond seems like a smart guy to me.
No, he ain't.
But he definitely.
He ran. Hold on, no, he ain't. He ran the gravy train out of town. KD. That's for one. No, that's. He ran the gravy train.
For the record,
that's just KD being soft.
For the record, CJ McCollum estimated based on his opinion, no facts, that about 150 NBA players, like the guys making the minimum, are living paycheck to paycheck. That's very different than.
And that's because they're trying to keep up with the dudes that's making all the other money. There's no reason why. Yeah, they're trying to keep up with the dudes making all the other money. I had a buddy that played in the NBA a lot of years ago, and he told me, you got to be real careful when you're making a little bit of money, because he was on a minimum deal. He said you got to be really careful when you're making that kind of money, because you see all of these other dudes making this kind of money, and you think that you can spend with them, and you can't.
All right, fellas, we gonna keep it pushing. I got another super chat that I do want to read, and then we're gonna get into the CBA. Ronnie with a super chat said, question for Chill. Downtown Freddie Brown was one of my favorite old school players to watch. Any thoughts on him?
Downtown Freddie Brown from the Seattle Supersonics. Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah,
that's him.
Buckets. Downtown Freddie Brown. Could score on anybody. He was Vinnie Johnson. He was kind of what Vinnie Johnson was back then. Like he could just get buckets on anybody. I dig Downtown Freddie Brown 100%. Yep. Dale, what up, brother? We in the house. What up, Dale? We was waiting for you.
Hey, can y'all hear me? I just got it. As we talk about CP3 right now, this fool just sent me an invite right now on IG on the what you call CP. Just a shout out to CP3, man.
What's good, Dale? What you got for us?
I don't got nothing.
You ain't come up here for nothing, Dale. What's on your mind, Dale? You ain't come up here for nothing, brother.
I hated y'all Chris Paul slander.
There we go. See, now we talking. What did you like? Dale is the brother who will call you up. Hey, how you doing? I'm good. What's going on? Not much. I was wondering. You was wondering. Absolutely. What's going on? What's on your mind, brother?
It's bad slander. I don't see why y'all don't think Chris Paul could work with the Warriors.
Why do you think it could work, Dale?
I believe all 5 of them players are very smart basketball players. I believe Steve Kerr is a very good coach, and I feel like they don't interact. They don't mess up with each other. Of course, Chris Paul is older, but we're not asking him to be Chris Paul of old. We're just asking him to hopefully just run the offense. Could he come off the bench? Yes, but I think he could also start. My only problem is, I think that he just cannot be a starter on this team, and that's the why not? Like, why can't Chris Paul give you 24 to 25 good minutes starting for this Warriors team? I don't think he's taken away from anyone. And then to finish the game, I think Chris Paul could still finish the game. You put Looney on the bench, you go Draymond, Andrew. I think Andrew Wiggins is going to be 6th man of the year. I think he's going to come off the bench instead of Looney and instead of Draymond, because I think he's more accepting of it. Him or Looney. But I don't think go ahead.
So Chris Paul coming onto this lineup shakes that lineup up that much. So we're talking about the second best player, arguably, on their finals championship team, now moving to the bench for an older Chris Paul, who isn't nearly as effective as he was 2 years ago. Now we're gonna move that dude to the bench to make us better and put him in the lineup, as opposed to maybe those 25 minutes that you said that Chris Paul could be effective in. He could be effective in those minutes coming off the bench if we spread him out.
Right, but my problem. I don't have a problem with CP coming off the bench. That's what I said. It's just y'all just negating the fact that he has to come off the bench. Like,
Dale, I got a problem with you. I got a problem with you, Dale.
What's your problem?
I'm glad you came up here right now.
All right.
I heard your boy. I heard your boys on process 4 of building the super duper team.
Oh,
the word was just reported that Kyrie Irving is meeting with the Suns tomorrow.
Oh my God.
What's up with that?
Yo, I'm gonna finish my conversation with you.
Your boy's a chump. What's up with your boy's a chump? I just want you to know that. You gonna get Kyrie too? Fluent just said your number was messed up. You gonna go get Kyrie too?
Oh my God! I come up here. I don't want to talk about KD.
That boy's soft, boy.
And then we come back. You
was making a point that
me and Chill having a CP3 conversation, and then here comes the Kevin Durant. Like I wasn't here for KD. I don't even know the KD information until I come on the show. Every time I come on the show, Ticket got a new KD. Is that your boy? Is that your man's Ticket? Every time I come on the show, Ticket got a new KD bias. He's a chump because he wants good players. Yes, he's a chump. Let it be a chump, whatever. But yes, the problem is with CP is the fact that no one thinks he can start on that team. I don't like. Why is that?
It's not that, Dell. It's not that I don't think that.
And then you go to Wiggins. You brought up Wiggins 2 years ago. Yes, he was the best player in the finals, but I don't think Wiggins would have a problem. I don't think Looney would have a problem coming off the bench. I just feel that we're not giving Chris Paul the credit that he deserves. If he's, I hate to say this, but if he's healthy, and I think Chris Paul can still start on that team.
Well, two things. Number one, your best interior defender and your best rebounder is not coming off the bench. That's number one. Number two, we're talking about Chris Paul. That's Looney. So and then number two.
But I said Wiggins would. I think Wiggins would be it. Just he could play the Andre Iguodala role. With
Right,
the
but
from back in the day.
Right, but the difference with Andrew Wiggins is his minutes are more valuable when he plays as a starter. As opposed to Chris Paul, I think his minutes would be much more valuable if he played with the second unit, because he would be primarily playing with second unit guys. Now, once the game got late into the game, you can probably have him on the floor late into the game, but you don't want to overextend him because, again, he's going to break down. So I want to have him on the floor in stretches where I know I can use him, where he can be effective, and then go with the guys that I know are going to take me home, as opposed to keeping Chris Paul on the floor and keeping him on the floor for extended minutes, knowing that he's going to break down, which means that this whole thing goes away because he's not going to be available.
You don't think Chris Paul could finish games?
I don't think he can finish games in terms of his health, and he's shown that over the season. He's broken down every year. No, I don't. Moving forward, I don't think that. And I think that's going to be the Achilles heel with him. That's why I don't. His game has suffered because of his health.
I could see that everybody get hurts and all that stuff, but I don't base it on just that. I feel like him healthy, him out there, I feel like he's gonna do what he do. I'm a huge fan of this trade, by the way, and I think I'm the only one, but I'm a huge fan of this trade.
I think you're in the minority.
You are the only one.
Big said Draymond said on the All the Smoke pod that he doesn't like Chris Paul.
You don't have to like someone.
Nobody likes Chris Paul.
A lot of people have a lot of hate towards that man and say he's one of the dirtiest players in the NBA. I've seen it since college.
Kind of what I think what you were saying, Morris. It's like, who cares if they don't like each other? You don't gotta like each other to be on the same team.
Yeah, you just gotta play basketball. You ain't gotta talk to each other outside of it. Just gotta play basketball.
Unless you one of them sensitive types, like I'm not passing him the ball.
He likes
Scottie,
I know they're not doing that. I know they're not doing that.
Scottie, Dennis Rodman, and Jordan are prime examples of that.
I think he likes CP more than he likes.
I think Mike liked Rodman.
I think Mike liked Pippen as well.
I think he liked him after a while. Yeah, I think
in the beginning, I'm sure that. I'm sure that as it went forward, Tone, that he started to warm up to him, but in the beginning it was like.
Oh yeah, in the beginning. But I'm saying once
that's
I got
what I'm talking about.
And saw his work ethic, I think he liked him. I think he liked him.
All right, fellas, let's go ahead and get into this CBA. It's about that time. I'm gonna read a couple super chats. We're gonna address the super chats, and I want to hear everything that everybody likes about the CBA or dislikes. Jay said apparently the CBA is so strict because the owners were threatening to lock out indefinitely. The Ben Simmons, Kyrie, and AD situations played a key factor.
I'm happy about that. Like I'm tired. I'm all with player empowerment, but these cats took it a little too far. James
What's
Harden
the AD situation?
Well, remember when he was with the Pelicans? We had to get.
They chose to shut him down.
Yeah,
And why did they choose to shut him down, Mars? They chose to shut him down because exactly.
That was their decision, though. Like I don't know how that's an AD situation. The Pelicans made their decision.
The problem was him wanting out. That was it. It wasn't the fact that they chose to shut him down because they wanted to get more value for him. It was the fact that he just wanted out.
Well, players are still going to ask out. So
yeah, they're still going to ask out. I think that was the issue, though.
Doesn't really,
but it's going to be
significantly.
It's going to be significantly harder. The owners basically tied their own hands, or their GM's hands, that it's going to be significantly harder. So there was questions in the comments. So because people are saying, what are these aprons? So I'll give that part first, and I'll say why I don't like it. So they've created, so the salary cap is going to be about 136 million. The first luxury tax, or the first apron, is at 165 million, and then the second apron is at 182 million. So
hold on, Tone. Stop right there, Tone. 136 million, 165 million. So once we get to 165 million, if we over that, I'm in the first apron.
You're in the first apron. Yeah. Once you hit 182 or more, you're into the second apron. Now, just so you know, 18 teams in the league are now, with what they've kind of said their salary estimations are if they re-sign their certain players. 18 teams are in the second apron. What does it mean if you're in the second apron? You get no cash trades, which means, sometimes they'll say, we'll give you this player, this draft pick, and cash considerations. You can't do that no more. So now you have to give players. No first round picks can be traded 6 years or more out if you're in that second apron. I don't think that's a big thing, but they are doing those, picks a lot down the road. Those are gone. And you can have no plus salary trades, meaning you cannot take even $1 more back from another team, where it used to be, as long as it was in 10%, you could take a trade. It can't be. So you have to be the same or below. If two second apron teams are trying to trade, they have to match equally the salaries exact. That's a problem. Here's an example of where another thing they can't do. So Dallas last year signed JaVale McGee to the mid-level exception, right? That would have instilled now, as a second apron team, a hard cap, which means they could not have made the trade for Kyrie Irving at the trade deadline. So that trade could not have happened under the new rules, what Dallas did this year. So the other thing is, the second apron will have no,
because they were over the cap.
Hold on. Say that again.
That's why they couldn't do it.
Because they use their mid-level exception, and we're a second apron team, they cannot have brought in that Kyrie trade, because it's a hard cap, and they could not go over the cap because Kyrie was bringing in more money than the pieces they traded away. So that trade could not have happened. Lastly, that I'll bring up. There's more, because there's 600 pages. But lastly, the second apron teams have no mid-level exception, meaning the mid-level exception, so starts at about 3 years, 6.5 million per year, and can go up to about 10 or 12 million. If you are in the second apron, so 18 teams out of the 30 right now, you don't have that anymore. So all you have is, I believe, the $2 million minimum NBA player exception.
I think it's 3.8, something like that.
Yeah, whatever it is. So anybody that has, so the 12 teams that have the mid-level exception can offer a guy 10 million. You, as the Phoenix Suns, can only offer him 3. So it's going to be very, very hard for teams that have multiple superstars to bring in, how they bring in those guys. Oh, one more thing. Sorry. There was one more other thing. If you're in the second apron, you're not allowed to be in the buyout market. So you know how title contending teams, there's someone who gets bought out and they bring them on a vet at the end, and everyone's like, that's not fair. Can't do that.
So Miami can't get Kevin Love. They can't
Miami
do that.
cannot get Kevin Love. Absolutely.
Okay. So Miami
that's
can't
major
get
right there too.
They're doing a lot of things to make sure teams don't have multiple superstars. They're doing a lot of things to make sure those good teams don't add in buyout pieces at the end. So a lot of stuff.
Ron, let me get mine real quick, Ron, because I got to go to a meeting. The thing I saw was the drug testing, and I see now that they're not testing for marijuana no more. So that's whatever. But I would have liked to have seen more strenuous testing for PEDs, performance enhancement drugs, in the league. I think that's something that has been understated. I think that coaches like George Karl and these guys have brought this stuff up, and I want to see guys on the even playing field in the NBA. I think that's been a situation that we have looked at, because you have had guys who have failed drug tests. Like Ayton failed a drug test, missed a whole lot of games for it. You know what I'm saying?
He did do that, yes.
Things like that. So I think that they should up that portion of their testing and be more transparent as far as that's concerned. I think that once they get that Olympic style testing, I think they should have randomly throughout the season. I think now, that will even out the NBA. That's pretty much the part that I saw that stuck out to me, is that now you're gonna let guys come to the game smoking weed. So hey, if the dudes on the court smelling like reefer, can't get mad. because the NBA the rules allowed it to happen.
Yeah.
Is there anything? And I don't know this, so I'm generally asking all y'all. Is there anything like with different organizations where they can do different stuff, like how Ticky, you just said they're not testing for weed no more, but are there certain teams, like let's say, I don't know, Milwaukee, if their owner or general manager is like, yo, I know that it's in the rules, but we don't allow no weed smoke, so if you sign with us, you got to sign that or something? Can they do stuff like that?
You could. They don't have to sign it, but you could put it into a player's contract.
They don't have to. Yeah,
you can, but yeah. So
hold on, hold on. You saying you can do that?
100%.
They can. You can do anything you want in your contract.
Well, no. So a team, hold on. The NBA can say in the CBA that we're not testing for marijuana, but a team could say you can't come to the game high.
We don't allow. We don't allow. It's just like how teams can put in, like, there's no rule against skateboarding in the NBA, but a team could put in and say, hey, in the offseason you can't, I don't know, skateboard, you can't surf, you can't skydive. There's certain things that teams can put in now if the player chooses.
What's the point of what's the point of Tone? Well, what's the point of having? What's the point of saying we're not testing for marijuana if you telling dudes they can't get high?
Well, Tone, I'm sorry, Ticket. You just mentioned it a while ago when we were talking about job policies and procedures. All of these teams don't abide by the same policies and procedures. There's teams who have different policies and procedures. So you might have with the Toronto Raptors a real stringent drug testing policy, but you also might have it more lenient with the Atlanta Hawks. And the Atlanta Hawks might go, even if it's in the CBA and even if you got a union, if you smoke weed, you can't come to work doing that. You can smoke weed when you out.
I'll give you an example. There's a lot. I don't know if there's any states that smoking weed is still illegal, but weed is legal. But if you're a bus driver, you can't come to work high. That organization has decided you can't smoke and drive.
It's just like the vaccine in New York. It's the exact same thing. The league, New York didn't have the vaccine mandate, but the NBA did. That's why Kyrie wasn't able to play. It's just like you made Udoka with the Boston Celtics. He didn't break no rules of the NBA, but he broke an internal rule within the organization of the Celtics.
But what was the purpose of them making it? Hold on, but what was the purpose of them saying we're not testing for no more?
They were just saying we're not going to do it.
It means that the league is not signing. They're not sending pop-up. They're not sending pop-up visits no more. We're not doing that no more. If your team bringing up laws, then we're gonna do it. But Adam Silver and my guys is not sending out people.
Oh man, I thought it was gonna be
and what we not doing, Ticket. We're also not. Go ahead, Tom.
I was just gonna say that does influence the teams, right? Because now the teams are like, well, if the NBA is okay with it, maybe we should ease up too and be okay with it too. But each team will still have their decision to make.
Because remember too, Ticket, you just brought up DeAndre Ayton. He wasn't suspended by Phoenix. He was suspended by the NBA.
Facts.
So because
but that was for PEDs. I'm talking about weed.
That's what I'm talking about.
They saying they're not testing for. My whole thing is this: if you're the NBA, I'm talking about not the laws. I'm talking about the NBA, and you put this rule into effect, and you say, okay, we're not testing for that no more. Then wouldn't that them doing that? Wouldn't that defeat the purpose of? Then now you got a team coming saying, oh no, but you can't get high on our watch. To me, the NBA makes the rule.
Keep going, Ticket.
The team can still do that.
If the NBA makes the rule, why would a team then make a rule that counters the NBA what they're trying not to do now?
It's just like federal government and state government. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot of stuff going on that you don't agree with. It's a lot of stuff.
Is weed legal in Texas?
No,
it's legal in Florida. I know that.
Not what you call it, recreational.
My understanding is it's not legal in Texas. So if the Dallas Mavericks say, although the NBA won't test, when you're in the state of Texas, you're not allowed to smoke weed because it's illegal here, but you can smoke it on the road. Well, that would make sense, right? Because they're doing something that's illegal where their home base is. So that's why they need to leave it open, because there might be certain situations like that.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I was saying, because federally, marijuana is still illegal federally.
Oh, there you go.
There's state governments that are like, you can, like out here on the West Coast, we can smoke wherever, we can smoke all day. Yeah. But it's still illegal federally. So let's say like some federal government association, whatever you call it,
DEA
organization, like the DEA, FBI, they can arrest me in California for smoking.
Right.
But the state troops,
Sacramento police,
that'd be a waste of time. But yes, they could.
Right.
On that note, I actually do have to go to a meeting too. Mars, I just want to congratulate you, as I told you 2 days ago when you didn't believe me. Fred VanVleet to the Houston Rockets. You're welcome, sir.
Is that going? Is that
here
going to
comes
happen?
Mars.
I told you 2 days ago. I confirmed
You
it.
did
Just
tell
now.
you did say that. All right.
Mars, are you with OKC or are you with Houston? Please.
It depends on the contract, to be honest.
I think it's like 80 million.
Was it that 80 million, that 2 year 80 million, that 40 million?
2 year
Is that what
83,
it
yeah.
got?
2 years, 80 million.
Forces are
get that money, boy.
2 years, 80 million. What the
2 or 4?
Are we sure it's
Yesterday, I said that it was. I saw yesterday it was potentially an $80 million deal for 2 years. I don't know if that's what he signed, but that's what I seen was on the table yesterday. 40 million a year.
There's no way
that money,
Houston. There's no way the Houston Rockets getting that dude 40 million.
Get that money, Freddie.
2 year 83.6.
2 years at 40 million. That is disgusting.
Yeah, Fred. Hey, that's what I'm talking
Good for you. Well deserved. Well deserved.
My goodness, yo.
Do you want me to get you an OKC jersey, Mark?
The one thing that
I don't really. I mean, we can afford it, and it's only 2 years. It's not like we're tied up for a long time. We weren't going to win a championship in the next 2 years, so bringing in a vet point guard for an overpriced salary where he gets paid, he can help us develop our point guards. It's not like he's stopping us from winning a championship in the next 2 years. We weren't going to win anyway. So I don't really mind it. Now, if it was 4 years, 160 million, okay, I would have had a problem. But 2 years, 80, we're just giving him a lot of money in a situation where we weren't going to win a championship anyway. So it just benefits everyone, in my opinion.
I need Fred VanVleet's agent to come help me get a better PC contract.
You want to double like his current deal?
I still got that same $3. My last $3.
Yo, all right. Let's talk about something more meaningful.
Hold on. Anybody that sends a super chat that just says Ox on it, all of that money's going to Ox.
And his agent's getting a cut of it.
Yeah, I got 10%. Oh, you're his agent? Oh, dang.
All right, so drink more water said for the new CBA, the first and second apron rules will hurt contenders the most. Not being able to aggregate player salaries together in a trade, can't buy out players, and no MLE
mid-level exceptions
sucks big time.
But the difference with that drink more water is what you're going to see is you're going to see more homegrown talent. That's why these teams are going to be contenders. That's why they're going to be able to hold on to their players because they can pay them the most.
I hate the CBA. No, I hate the owners got mad because of the players starting doing what they did. It's just like yesterday. What's the guy name from the Timberwolves?
Taurean Prince.
Taurean Prince finds out that they're not guaranteed his contract through Woj. Like he literally finds out.
He found that in a tweet. Yeah,
in a tweet. And so it's just like the owners are upset because players decide, all right, I'm gonna talk to my mans in the summer. We're gonna negotiate this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Yes, it's asinine what happened. The Brooklyn situation, the owners are 100% correct about how that shamble happened with Kyrie, James, even Kate. Well, I don't even put KD in that light because KD didn't he wasn't as loud as Kyrie and James was in his departure. But all of them was wicked. But for most part, the owner's been in control since all of us been watching NBA. So since LeBron did the decision and owners player empowerment, they have to crack down on a new CBA where players can't say who they want to play with, this, that, and the third. Chris Paul said, who's a vet, he's going to, no, I don't want to be traded. Boom, you out of here. We done with you, this, that, and the third. So for the most part, yes, it's good that the deck won't be stacked per se, but the owners just wanted to be in control again. And I just feel like less player movement. Look at the Dame situation. It's so crazy now that everybody wants Dame to go and be like, yo, I want to be traded, and everybody's going to agree with it. Isn't that the same thing?
It is, actually.
This my only thing with that, just a little pushback, because I am all for player empowerment. But if the owners of these teams own the teams, isn't it right that they have a little more power than the employees? Even though, yeah, I understand we're all watching the game to watch the players. Like they are they're the attraction. I understand that. I understand they're the ones on the court doing all the work. But I mean, isn't that how capitalism works? That the owners have the majority of the say so?
They do, but the employees recognize that yo, this as much as we need you, you need us, which means that our value just went through the roof. It's not just, you're the ones that write the paycheck, so you get to just say and do whatever you want to do. Well, nah, that's not the case anymore, because we recognize that the NBA has now become even more global. Not only has it become even more global, it's become even more popular right here in the States. And the people here, they want to see these guys. So we recognize that we're the product. So if you don't have any product, you don't get paid. So you need us. So you can't talk to us crazy.
Right now, and I'm not saying they should be talking to him crazy and disrespecting them or anything like that. I'm not for that. I'm just saying, like, it goes both ways though. Like, yeah, these guys are the ones playing, but who's the ones out there making these deals, in these TV deals? Who's the people that are doing the business with China and Europe to get these new TV deals, like I said, or just to have teams go play over there? You know how they do that during the summertime, where these guys come play. Like I'm sure it's not the players, except for the guys that are presidents, like Chris Paul was and CJ McCollum. Except for that, are these guys really orchestrating this? Are these guys out here putting these deals together? I don't think they are. So it goes both ways. Like, yeah, they need the players, but let's not get it misconstrued. The players need the owners. Like, there would be, who else would they be playing for?
You were going to say something, Moss?
Yeah, I was just saying, I think what Ox said was correct. Like, that's just how capitalism works. But when it's all about leverage. Like, for example, the owner of like a factory or something where all you're doing is just like, I don't know, stuff in a pillowcase. Sure, the employees are going to have no leverage in that situation because anyone can do their job. You can just replace them if they start acting up. But when you're in the NBA and it's only the top certain percent of people who can replace the person who's acting up, you don't have as much leverage because you know that they're so irreplaceable that you're kind of at their mercy to what they want because of the value they have to the job. Whereas someone who isn't as valuable, their job is much more easy to do for just someone off the street, pick them up, replace this guy. But when it's an NBA player and it's only the top 600 people in the world at basketball, it's like, if we replace Kyrie Irving, we're going to get someone worse. It doesn't benefit us. That's why I think the players have more power in the NBA than other employees in other sort of fields.
Does anybody else want to talk about anything else in the CBA? I have a couple things I do want to talk about, but Dub, do you have anything? Mars, Dale, Chill?
I wanted to say this, where the CBA, I thought it was pretty unnecessary in my eyes, because I get that they don't want teams to make super teams anymore. But at the same time, the rules they putting in play is like, I didn't think there was a need for it, like, at all. And you're basing this off of the few times with like Brooklyn and really LeBron, or when they was doing that nonsense, but nobody else was doing that. Nobody else was creating teams like that. Nobody. It was just those two guys. So you're penalizing a whole crew, a whole organization for something that two teams did. That doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense at all.
But is it two teams though? Because it was a domino effect. Because you saw what happened with Kawhi Leonard. You saw what happened with Paul George, who signs an extension. You saw what happened with Ben Simmons, who just signed an extension in Philadelphia. Now he's demanding to be traded. You saw what happened with James Harden, who basically put on a fat suit for 2 days and demanded to be traded, right? So you saw what happened and these guys have these contracts where James Harden leaves, I think it was a 2-year, $100 million deal on the table because he's demanding to be traded, only to go somewhere and it doesn't work, and only to demand to be traded again. So there has to be some, I think that there has to be some sort of commitment on the part of the players. I'm definitely a pro player guy. I'm definitely pro player than I am pro owner. But with that being said, there has to be some commitment. When you sign a 4-year deal at $200 million, when you sign a 4-year deal at $179 million, and then 1 year into the deal, you ask out when 2 years before this, you were here and everything was fine. Things haven't changed much since this happened. Something needs to be done about that. 100%.
I feel you on that, but that
the team
could be
does that also.
Yeah, they just traded Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole, right?
Yeah,
Jordan Poole.
Now the Jordan Poole situation was a little bit different.
Bradley Beal.
Right. So the Jordan Poole situation was a little bit different. Jordan Poole's situation, I don't think that the Warriors wanted to trade him. That incident between him and Draymond made that situation toxic. So I think that's why that went the other way. I don't think that if that happened, I think that Jordan Poole is still on that crew. Now, I do have to.
Marcus Smart.
I was about to get to Bradley Beal. Now, I think that the Washington Wizards had a plan, and the plan was to build that unit around KP and Bradley Beal. What they didn't anticipate, which is why they signed Bradley Beal to that extension, to that Supermax extension, what they didn't anticipate was they didn't anticipate Bradley Beal getting hurt and his value going down. And now recognizing that we've probably gone as far as we're going to go with this team. Now, as opposed to me signing a 4-year deal and recognizing immediately after the 1-year deal, my buddy is calling me up going, yo, get your way out of Oklahoma City and I'll go to the Clippers. Those two things are not the same.
But you could see something within your organization that you don't like to make you not want to be a part of that organization no more. The same way when a team where a guy keeps getting hurt, or like the continuity with Draymond and Jordan Poole, we're like, oh, this may not be the best fit, right? And then you brought up the Clippers, like, even though the Clippers got Paul George, Kawhi, like the Clippers wasn't like a super team. They were a team that was really good, and we're actually good for the NBA if we actually seen the Lakers versus Clippers, because that would have been amazing. So I think the NBA is penalizing the whole entire NBA for something and stacking the deck. The Brooklyn Nets, where they stacked the deck, but they didn't even win a chip off of that. The Bucks won the chip that year, right? Stacking the deck. LeBron's been trying to stack the deck since Russell Westbrook. Guess what? They've been missing the playoffs. So it's like all these stacking the deck things that people are doing is failing. The only time it would work out was Golden State and LeBron James whenever he was doing it.
And super teams, as we know, are not technically are not traditionally successful. But I think what the NBA is trying to do is they're trying to get back to, number one, teams building it within, because when you build it within, you get to grow with these players, and the NBA becomes more popular because this guy is with this team for X amount of years, and people loving this team, and they love this guy, and this team is winning, as opposed to these guys bouncing around. And you can't really have a relationship with that team when you got this dude on the crew for 2 years, then you only got this dude on the crew for 1 year, as opposed to having this dude on the crew for 5 or 6 years or 7 years. Kind of like what they're doing in Boston. Same thing like what they're doing in Golden State. And I think the league is trying to get back to that, like what they had in the 80s when they had the Lakers, when they had the Celtics, when they had the Bulls, when they were building it from within, as opposed to super teams and guys just jumping around.
That's a good one. I see that point for sure.
Fellas, what I do want to talk about in the CBA is because it's a lot of things, and you could say some things aren't player empowering and things like that, but it is a couple things that they gave players the ability to do that I absolutely love. And it starts with like players' ability to invest in a couple different things. Players can invest in gambling companies up to a certain extent. They just can't promote the company, but they can invest in them. I do like that. They can also invest in marijuana companies as well. So I like that. Invest in the cannabis industry. That's major. And then also another thing too, and this is what I ultimately love the most, is that the NBA is allowing players to invest and become owners in the WNBA. And I don't know if you guys know or not, but I'm a big WNBA fan. Love the WNBA. I'm trying to promote the WNBA as much as possible. Hey, Joy Lloyd, the best player in the league. Matter of fact, we're gonna be at the game tonight. But I think that's dope to allow NBA players to invest in the WNBA, because there's so much eyes on these NBA players that they can now bring eyes to the WNBA scene and promote that league as well. So I think that's gonna be dope. It's also gonna be cool. Like, let's say LeBron owns like the Mystics, for instance, and then let's say like KD owns another team as well. Then that's like, it's just gonna bring a lot of attention to it. Right. You're gonna be like, okay, that's LeBron's team. He's sitting courtside. How do you feel about this team? Yada yada yada. It's just, I think it just promotes the league. It builds the league, and they hooping over there, so they deserve it.
I feel you on that. I think they could go other ways on like promoting the league, right? Like me and Chilltown talked about this. I seen a TikTok the other day with like Angel Reese. Oh, the thing went nuclear, and she was doing some like, I think she was dancing or something, right? And the reason why it's so big is because of the drama that got created between Angel Reese and what was the other girl name? Caitlin Clark. So the thing that the WNBA needs to do, because that's what the NBA did with Larry Bird and Magic, the Boston Celtics and the Lakers and creating that rivalry. You need to put drama and rivalries into the league and really make people want to root.
It is. You guys just don't know about it.
I don't think, but it's not captivating enough. I think there needs to be more like stuff like an Angel Reese happening, Caitlin Clark, that gets more people's attention.
The WNBA lost a lot of money after this March Madness because them two girls couldn't go in the WNBA draft.
Facts.
That's their fault, though.
I know. I'm saying so. It's not about the ownership of LeBron James and Kevin Durant. If Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese could have went into this and have been 1 and 2, whatever the case may be, that hype that they created, they're making more money right now in college than they would have in the WNBA. Their TikTok, their media appearances, because that hype of that beef. This is why next year, whatever year they're going, it's just gonna get higher and higher. But they, just like Dub said, they don't have. Is that my background?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, because the height of the league is based on them two women this year would have been ridiculous. Would have been ridiculous,
sure.
and they
it would have been like Bird. It would have been like Bird and Magic coming into the league.
Crazy.
But this the thing though. With it's just like with any business. If I'm not a customer, you can't sell me no matter what you tell me. If I'm not a customer, so it's like with the WNBA. There's people that like women's basketball. I love women's basketball. I've always grown up around women's basketball. I'm a fan of the WNBA. I've been a fan of the WNBA since Cynthia Cooper. Some people just aren't gonna get there. So I think you can add the drama and the parody, Dub, but I think it's just gonna be one of those things where it's just got to keep gradually growing. It's only been 26, 27 years for the WNBA. So I think it's kind of like I think me and Mars actually talked about this before. Or maybe it was me and you, Dub. I'm not sure, but it's like when the NBA was so young, 20, 27, 26 years in, it wasn't the best product yet. So I think with the WNBA, it's just going to take time. And you got like you just mentioned, Dale. You got the young ladies like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, but there's been some badass shit.
But we can still hear you though.
We can still hear you, brother. Yeah, we got you. You still hot.
So there's been a lot of like badass young ladies coming to the WNBA for decades now. I just think it's just going to take time, and I do think that NBA players getting more involved, especially from a financial level, I think that will help a little bit too. But I think it's just going to be a gradual climb with the WNBA.
But the thing is, Ox, is like the NBA, even the NBA needed a jump start, right?
Yeah.
Because they started in correct, like
47.
54? Oh, it started at
47. Yeah. But it was called the BA, and it was the NBA, and then.
Well, it didn't start really upticking until all of that, like people said, like WWE drama, like all that drama started kicking in the 80s, and that's what really put the NBA on the map. And then Michael Jordan coming in, and then the marketability that he brought to the game, right? So I think that's what the WNBA needs, and it's missing. It needs people like that to make people like, yo, I want to watch this. Like, I'm interested to see how this story is going to play out. The NBA is a story. It is what it is. Like, this is how legacy talks, and the way people rank players off of legacy. It's because of the story that's being told, and people gravitate towards that. And right now, the WNBA, there's no storytelling into it. So guess what?
There's some storytelling to it, though. You just got to pay. I mean, I'm not saying,
and that's the point I'm making. Like, if you don't watch it, you would know.
You got.
It's no stories that people going to like care about. That's
what I'm saying, Dub. Like that's kind of my point. If you're not a customer, if you're not a fan, then you're just not gonna be. But I think that you just got to tap into it. So you're right. You do need that. But I think there is that. But only the people that are really into it. So I think the problem is we're comparing the WNBA to the NBA. The WNBA, and not just you, Dub, I'm just saying in general. When people say, "Oh, the WNBA is weak," it's a weak league. Well, that's because you can't compare it to the NBA right now. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and I don't think it's ever going to be as big as the NBA. But there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think so. I think for what it is and what it's going to be, I think that's a good niche, and it's getting better. But we can't. It's doing the WNBA a disservice to compare it to the magnitude of what the NBA already is.
Let's make sure we clear too that 25 years in, that was 1971. The NBA wasn't extremely popular in 1971. And Chamberlain was running around. Bill Russell was running around. Oscar Robertson, all of these guys, the Boston Celtics were who they were. And the NBA was not as popular as it is today. So
I feel you on that. My whole thing is like for businesses in general, right? It's not just about pleasing the people that's committed to your business. It's also about pleasing the casual people that don't know about your business as well. Right. And as from a marketing perspective, you need to understand how to grab those guys' attention that aren't really the people that's going to tune into the WNBA and really going to see what they got going on, the rivalries they got going on. You need to find a way to grab the casual viewer. And that's what, and people hate it all the time, but it is what it is. Like the casual viewers are the people that makes the brand bigger. Because the more people that gets joined into it, the more casual people that gets brought into it, the bigger and bigger your community grows. So at the end of the day, they need to do and find a better job of getting those casual guys like myself, like other people, that's gonna grab our attention to watch this. I'm gonna watch college. I'm gonna watch college basketball next year. You know why? I want to see how this Angel Reese and Clayton Clark thing is gonna go. And that's just how, that's the story. That's the story of the game, bro. Like you have to. That's how you got to play it.
The Bayou Barbie.
I do see a big future with the WNBA. Like I said, with these NBA players being able to now invest. Obviously, you invest for a reason. You invest to grow a business. So with the NBA players investing their millions, also invest in their time and efforts and their resources, the league's gonna continue to expand. It's only 12 teams, but we're gonna start seeing expansion teams. The league's gonna eventually grow from 12 to 20 teams, from 20 to possibly 30. And then it's gonna be a full league. You're obviously gonna get bigger and better storylines when just like this last college season, when these two get to the WNBA, people are gonna follow them closely. And on top of that, media is just getting bigger and bigger as well. So more people are gonna start becoming hip to the league. More people are gonna start tapping in. I personally watch the WNBA a lot. I'm at a lot of the games here in Seattle, and they got a good brand of basketball. So if you guys tap in and watch, I guarantee you're gonna like it. You're gonna be entertained.
And this my thing. Like,
if you like basketball, if you really like basketball,
people don't care about basketball, bro. They want to be entertained.
That's some people. That's your casual basketball fan.
That's the majority. That's the majority. That's who you have to appeal to.
Well, this is my thing, and this what I'm trying to say. Like a lot of you see those it's these two kids. I see them a lot. They go around and they make like they troll and basically just try to disrespect the WNBA, and that's what you get a lot from these casual fans that you guys are talking about. These casual fans, they don't respect it just because that's the cool thing to do, to disrespect the WNBA. But if you know about the WNBA, you would know that there's been a lot of, like, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark didn't start being they didn't start this. Oh, she's great. If you remember, where Cheryl Swoops went, Texas Tech, Cheryl Swoops.
Who?
Cheryl Swoops.
Cheryl Swoops. She went to Texas Tech.
Texas Tech, yeah. Cheryl Swoops, she was doing this back then, and this is the 90s. Like she was going crazy in college. You got
still holds the record for the most points. Still holds the record for the most points in national championship. But if you go back, like those Comets teams, those were legendary squads. The Minnesota Lynx, those were legendary squads. Even the Sacramento Monarchs with Tisha Pinachera, Yolanda Griffith, that was a legendary squad. Kara Lawson was, there's been a lot of great women basketball players, but I just think the casual fans don't see it.
No, he's not arguing that. It's the fact of you're on a different spectrum. He's not saying that there's.
I get what he's saying, Odell.
That there's no talent. He said the talent's not been there. The fact of the matter, he's more interested now because of the Caitlyn and the Angel Reese dynamic.
The drama. Yep. The drama.
That's all he's saying. So you bringing up I know all those names, like the Rebecca Lobos. I go way back, but it's never been no drama of an Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark to have me interested in watching. Because to the NBA, look at all the talent we have in the NBA, and then I'm on this podcast every day defending a player like Kevin Durant because of the drama. Right. So the talent don't means nothing. It's not about the basketball, because people up here arguing LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, supreme talent athletes just because for the drama. It has nothing to do with the basketball.
That's why the Bird and Magic dynamic became what it became. It wasn't because of it wasn't just because of the basketball. It was because of the drama between the two.
Okay, well,
that's what it was more than anything. And I'm 100% confident, Big Ox, if Asia Wilson and Brittany Griner had a beef, it would be much more popular. If that was if Kelsey Plum and Sabrina had a beef, it would be
Elena Delle Donne, Breonna Stewart. If they had a beef,
it would be if those two teams met each other and they were winning, and this team won and that team won, this thing would be more because it would be must-see TV. What are they going to do next time they see each other? What are they going to do the next time they see each other? We already know that Delle Donne. We already know that Delle Donne is a baller, right? We already know that. We already know that Kelsey Plum is super nice. Right, we already know that. I already know that Kelsey Plum is super nice. But if Kelsey Plum and Sabrina, I keep getting her last name wrong. But
I can't say it. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, I keep getting her last. Say it again. Anescu, that's her. So if those two got in a fight in a game, or if those two got to jawing at each other and it was constant, that would be must-see TV for the WNBA.
I understand that, and Dale, when you just kick it to me like that, I get what you guys are saying. I understand that. I just can't get behind that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't care about.
You're a basketball purist, Bob. Big Ox. That's why
I don't care about the drama. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're a basketball.
Yeah, because you
I
care
am
about
too.
basketball, but that's not the majority of people.
So that's what I was arguing. I was arguing from my standpoint, but I definitely get what you guys are saying. Though. You're right. You're 100% right about
even
that.
then, when we talk about basketball today, like, to be real, the viewership, they care more about the personalities, about who's talking about it. They care more about the drama of Dell defending KD, or like me caping for KD, or Ticket going at LeBron and Showtown. Like, people are in it for the drama, and that's what it is.
Yeah, you should have saw the chat when they started talking about Chris Haynes' tweet about Kyrie going to the Suns. That's all they wanted us to talk about.
They wanted because they wanted.
They don't care about the basketball.
And that's how you got to play it, and that's what the WNBA has to realize. Like, that's what people will react to make your brand bigger.
Yeah, the other day when we were talking about
you right, Dub. Let's give the people what they want.
It was the worst show ever, man.
Let's give the people what they want.
That's
what they asking for.
Let's give them
that's
the
what they
drama
asking for.
And it's right here lying in these super chats. So I got you guys. Newton with the first super chat said, "Can someone tell me the difference between Dub wearing a do-rag and Ben Simmons wearing a shooting sleeve?"
I could probably make a 3 better than Ben Simmons.
Well, first of all, Dub actually shows up to work. Let's start with that right there. Dub actually shows up to work. That's number one. Number two, Dub actually does his job as opposed to a dude who shows up sometimes. And I'm not really sure he even dig his job. So those two things are not the same. No.
Yeah, I'm better than Ben Simmons. Y'all heard it here first, man.
Oh my God.
Y'all heard it here first.
Liam McLean said, "Hey guys, do you think off the court things like behavior or community involvement should play a role in Hall of Fame qualifications?"
No.
How good you are at your job should not be impacted by things outside of your job. That doesn't make sense.
They got community assist awards for that.
Which is why that guy in Utah should still be in the thing.
That's what I'm talking about. If you a scumbag, you a scumbag. That doesn't take away from the fact that you a ball player and you're awesome, because we can separate the two people
easily.
We can definitely separate the two people. Now,
yes,
when
I
talk
people
about
in the chat, yes, even that guy, he should still be in the Hall of Fame. Yes.
When I talk about my all-time great list, one of the criteria is how impactful were you socially? Yeah, I care about I care about what effect you had on people. I do care about the effect that you had on people off the floor.
Chill. Speaking of Hall of Fame, I'm sorry, Ron. I heard this. I think it was yesterday's show. Mitch Richmond is no way in hell better than DeMar DeRozan.
Yes, he is. Yes,
no way better.
Yes,
DeMar DeRozan.
Yes, he is. Big guard, score on anybody. 100% he was. Yes.
Yo, listen to me, yo. Mitch Richmond is no way in hell better at basketball than DeMar DeRozan. I'm sorry. It was a lot of Hall of Fame names y'all was saying yesterday. I was writing in the chat, but I'm sorry, Mitch.
I want to get to. I want to get to these super. I want to get to these super chats.
I just wanted to say that.
That's what. That's cool.
Oh wait! Shout out to my Yankees' perfect game last night.
27 up, 27 down. No walks.
No walks. Nothing. Perfect game last night. Go ahead, Ron.
That's what's up.
I'm out here dealing with these men.
Mitch Richmond came out of nowhere.
It was yesterday. We was talking about
it was
Hall
yesterday.
of Fame. I saw it. I was watching, and I saw it. I was like,
DeMar DeRozan.
Is DeMar DeRozan the NBA champ?
Facts. Mitch Richmond won on the Lakers, right?
He won on the Lakers.
Oh, y'all gotta leave DeMar alone, man.
No.
He's not who everybody wants him to be, but DeMar
low down in the house.
He is what he is, and what he is not better than Mitch Richmond.
He's good.
What up, low down?
Let me
underrated
Let me go put my KD jersey on. Hold on, give me a second.
What is going on?
What up, low down?
Yo,
what up, man?
Yo, this is
Low
insane.
geeking over here talking to Dell. Look at that smile on his
This guy
face,
really
bro.
pulled up just
That's
to
not
us, Dell.
No. It's
Mars.
Mars is trolling me behind the scenes for no reason.
You came up here to ask a dumb question.
So is this a Candyman situation?
We could expose the DMs right now.
Low's coming up here to ask the most pointless question.
Catch, I wanted drama. We got it.
He said,
More receipts, though.
And I quote, Dub, ask Dub, why does KD think I hate him?
That's why he's up here. Just
I need to
figure out. There's no reason for him to be.
Dub, you wrong, bro. You wrong.
I came up here to answer that because Mars wouldn't ask him.
Because it's a dumb question.
I'm gonna take a picture of you right now and text it to him right now. Hold on.
Dell's just gonna
hold on. Let me get my KD jersey. Hold on, give me a second.
Oh,
God. You really have a KD
I'm just
jersey?
trolling.
It's
somewhere. I do have a KD jersey. I do.
You do not have a KD jersey.
Yes, I do. Why? What?
Yo, my dog. This
What
guy
is it?
wants-
Is it a Warriors jersey? Is it
No, there's
Nets. Okay, see. See,
I might have an OKC KD figurine actually.
Low, do they hang up KG's jersey in Golden State?
Look at yes. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Yeah. They too progressive and PC not to hold a grudge against him.
Wait, so KD really thinks that you hate him?
No.
He said when you speak about me, it comes with a little bit more sauce to it.
It does.
It
really does. Though,
You do put a little bit more pepper on it when you talk about KD.
Facts. Well,
that's a fact.
What does he say? What does he say, Chill? What does he say? What's his favorite quote?
Woo! What?
Why are you saying that? Why are you saying that? Arms all in the air, bro.
Look, bro, KD,
that's fine. That's fine.
And the Suns are gonna.
Listen, Low. Listen.
Look, bro, KD, he opened me to his way. He opened my eyes, bro. He said he's the same player. He gets anything he wants, so I expect him.
Don't troll him
to dominate.
Don't patronize.
I didn't even listen to y'all full space.
It was hilarious. It's the funniest thing. If you ever listen to it, it's
Ron. Can you handle it, Ron? Can you handle it as a host, Ron? What are you doing, B?
Nah, that's the one where I be like when Low get to laughing and slapping the table, hey, and doing this.
Oh God. No, that's by far one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Del, when you get a chance, the things that he was saying, I was like, this nigga not even serious. Bro.
Are you good or are you not good? Oh, that's the quote of the year.
That was a valid point, Doug.
I agree with that. That was 100%.
But it was just funny. It was funny the context in which he said it.
No, of course. I stopped listening because I knew he was going to answer questions like how I was going to. So it was no need for me.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
so it was no need.
Yes.
And
I see why you guys are friends.
It was no need to continue because it's basketball. It's like why you was missing? I just missed. Like it was just simple. Like
why'd you get to the lane? I ain't drive.
No, right. My midi was open. Like I wasn't
forced to layup to me.
But it's
and I was just missing my layups. Yeah, I was
exactly.
missing
The
layups.
thing about it is that though, it's like it's just if we nitpick every little thing, then we get into it. But really, it's kind of like, well, can you hoop or not though? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Basketball's a simple game that people
it wasn't really nitpicking simple things. These are important things that I think many people.
Well, like rim pressure, right?
Defense, depth, continuity. Those are all things that I thought people knew were potential problems, and they decided to overlook those problems because they thought KD and Book would shoot their way through a series.
But why are you mad at KD for that?
I'm not. I've never been mad at KD. I'm mad at the people who
That's
argue.
one thing with Low. He never really mad at KD. He mad at people like me that still think he's good.
That's it.
Yeah, he's always
I'm happy Dale knows that because the whole world thinks I hate KD. No, and it's not him.
He mad that people look at it just basketball wise for Kevin Durant like I do. I don't look at the whole team landscape of a basketball player. And Low does when he plugs KD in it. He looks at the fit and how he's messing up this and that. No, he's just that good. So I think they're gonna win. That's how I look at it. He viewed it as no continuity, team space, and no, I don't see all that. I'm sorry, I just never did.
The thing with Low that happened was he got so disgusted with people talking about KD that it made in his own mind frame, like unconsciously, it made a disliking towards KD. You know when you get so mad about how somebody.
I don't think that's true.
I think so. I
don't think it's true because even this regular season when KD was playing ridiculously, Low was tweeting about it when he was shooting like 58. Nah, Low was going crazy.
Yes,
like,
he was, right?
Yeah,
okay, all right. So y'all killing me. That was OD.
No, I'm saying he was going crazy to show his point that he's not a hater, that he wasn't hating it. He was just like, nah.
But don't you think he just put it on face? Don't you think he just put it on face?
Well, if he did, I don't think so.
Because as soon as KD messed up, it switched.
No, I didn't think so. I didn't think so. I really didn't. Because even the first when he's playing good with Phoenix, I didn't see a switch. He played bad in the playoffs, and you know how low Mars they rank playoff.
Oh wow, Mars is.
No,
Mars get thrown in these conversations.
No,
he didn't finish. Let him
finish. Low and Mars value playoff translation at the peak. Like that's a fact. That's what they do.
No, I value it.
Yeah.
That's the number one. That's the number one in their criteria.
It's not number one.
Well, but
it's high on the list. It's high on the list.
It's high on the list, right? So when he didn't play well, the Nuggets series, it just falls in the narrative of another year where his numbers dipped and dropped from regular season.
Yeah, that's more of low. I didn't really kill KD for the Nuggets series.
I didn't really kill him either. It's just I killed the people who thought that they were going to shoot their way through the series.
I was one of them.
You were one of them too.
Nah. He didn't believe it. He didn't
had Phoenix in the finals.
He didn't believe it.
Me too. Yes. Phoenix versus kind of.
I thought you had Golden State in the finals. I thought you said you had Golden State.
Golden State, you're right. Golden State, definitely. I forgot about my light-skinned brothers. They're my favorite next year as well.
And so Jokic, so this is the other part I don't like with Dell. So Jokic did something, and the Nuggets did something that you did not think that they were going to do, and that does not change your perception on them as a team or anybody on their roster.
In my mind, the team that I had favorite, they messed up, not what they did.
I feel that.
If the Nuggets had to see Golden State,
Miami ain't lose. We just shot bad. That's why we lost, bro. That's why.
And I'm not mad at Joe for saying that because I think
that's terrible. I ain't really fail the test. I ain't really fail this test. I just put down the.
Dubs trying.
What you mean?
I just put down.
Did your perspective on anyone on the Lakers change? They don't want to beat the Warriors.
My perspective on LeBron James.
No, anyone.
LeBron James. LeBron James is the fact that the Warriors can't be LeBron James without Kevin Durant.
So, that is a nasty narrative.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
And this is why, and you know what's so crazy?
Yo.
When I was talking to KD, I was like, I'm basically getting trolled by Dell right now. So I ain't gonna sit here and this combo, bro. I'm getting trolled by Dell.
It's a fact.
I'm getting trolled by Dell. What a nasty narrative. Narrative Dell is nasty.
I'm gross. I've never done that.
Long as you recognize that, Dell, you are nasty.
That's a nasty narrative, man.
No, I told you I answered that question for you. I told you about Austin Reeves. I didn't know he could create like that. I didn't know he could have put the ball on the floor like that. He showed me a lot. I just don't like Jamal Murray had a great playoff run, but I'm hearing Jamal Murray's better than Kyrie Irving. It's those talks that I hate.
I'm
on the same. We're all on the same page with you. We hate those as well. I don't.
Okay.
The Jamal Murray better than Penny Hardaway talks.
Yeah.
That shit is
he's a top 5 point guard in the game now. Easy.
I think Paul Pierce said he was the best. I think.
Yes, Pierce is.
This the same Paul Pierce who said he was better than Kobe Bryant because he beat him in the NBA Finals in 2008.
Yes, he did.
And it also said he better.
Is that crazy? Is that crazy?
He also said he better than D Wade as well.
No, he didn't say that. He said if he had.
No, he absolutely said that. He said he was better than D Wade. And not only did he say he was better than D Wade, Jalen Rose ripped him apart. This is what you did. This is what he did. Destroyed him on the show.
Yeah, but imagine if Paul Pierce had LeBron and Chris Bosh.
Word. It's Shaq.
The Lakers about to get Bruce Brown.
Paul Pierce did have Shaq technically.
I'm sorry, Ron. I'm sorry, Ron. I'm sorry.
Hey, if you're kind of LeBron Shaq.
No.
Oh, D-Wade Shaq.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, 5 years apart.
No, it was the big 5 years, boys. Way
Yeah,
big.
5 years is 5 years.
Super chats. What you got, Ron? Super chats.
My bad.
Super chats.
Psycho Yamba said if Dame dropped the same stats he did this season on any other team besides Portland, he would be considered a locked in the top 5 player in the league.
No, he wouldn't, because if he did that in Orlando, we wouldn't be saying the same thing. That's not true. If he did that in Minnesota, we wouldn't be saying that. So that's not true. No, he would not. Maybe Minnesota. Maybe Minnesota. But if he did that in Toronto, would we be saying that?
No,
he's just not top 5 because he's not top 5.
He's not good enough to be top 5.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, he is still good though. He's not good.
Awesome.
He's top 10,
me and Mars had this conversation. I said that before this season, I thought that Dame Lillard was going to play himself back into the top 10 this season. I thought he was going to do that. Top 5, I'm not going that far. No way.
Yeah,
he's not good. He's not good defensively. He's not good enough defensively.
How do you feel about Clyde Drexler and Dame being the same level defensively?
I haven't studied Clyde Drexler enough to make that assessment.
Okay, interesting.
Wait, Dame. When was Dame out the top 10?
He was.
In my opinion, he never left it.
He never left my top.
I wasn't too harsh on him last year because I knew he was hurt, so I wasn't being crazy.
Oh, okay. All right, moving along because that just sting me a little bit. Dame is so real.
Yes.
Who's the best Portland Trailblazer to you, though? Clyde or Dame?
Or Bill Walton?
It's Dame. Come on, Dame got the biggest bag.
I saw that in the chat, and I wrote Dame, or all 4 letters was capitalized.
Yeah, facts.
Oh.
Come on, man.
Yeah, what we doing here?
He got the deepest bag. Come on, let's be honest.
It's Bill Walton, but I mean, this match.
No, it's not, bro.
It's Bill Walton.
1 year peak. Yeah, you got it.
Yep.
Vince with the super chat said, "Need to ask this now that Chillin' flew in the hill. Would y'all like if the McDonald's championship comes back now that the overseas ball is more popular?"
Yes, I would love this. Absolutely. Because now you get the best team in the NBA playing against the best team in the Euro League.
They're doing that, though.
Are they doing that?
They're doing it, but to an extent, it's called the Intercontinental Cup. They're doing it, but they don't take the NBA, honestly, which I agree with. They don't take the NBA champions. They take the D-League championship. And not for nothing, the D-League championship, they get cooked.
Oh, the G League, they got ballers in the G League, 100%.
They get cooked. When I won in Greece, we beat.
I think Delaware.
When I won in Greece, it was San Antonio, I think I won at the time. They got pummeled by a team in Argentina. Pummeled. So I just know if it's the NBA championship, maybe the full team won't show up and it'll be a good game against EuroLeague, but they still do it. They do it. When I played it, we were in Brazil. It was dope.
I think it would bring more popularity to the sport, and I think that it would also show how far the gap is, if there is a gap between the best teams in the NBA and the best teams in the EuroLeague or in any international league. I think it would definitely do that. Because when I was watching the McDonald's championships in 86 and 87 when Bird was playing, it was obvious how much better Bird was than anybody else that they ever had.
Yeah. Shaq team of EuroLeague this year, they had a mob.
They was tough.
They were so stacked, position, bench. But them versus the Nuggets is like, I don't no, I'm serious. It's like the first quarter be fairly close, but the test of time will show. It will show.
I thought you said you don't look at benches though, bench and depth. You just look at who's good or not.
I view EuroLeague basketball different than I view the NBA.
Oh,
way different.
Yeah, everybody that plays in
casual thinking right there. Casual thinking.
Guys that play in the NBA can't play in the EuroLeague, and it's guys that play in the EuroLeague that can't play in the EuroLeague.
Real hoopers know. Real hoopers know.
Nah, Lo, it's way different though. Them 5 minutes coming off the bench in EuroLeague, 5 to 7, they really matter compared to I don't even know who played 5 to 7 in the NBA Finals. I just didn't even pay attention to it. Maybe it's the marketing of it.
Respect Reggie Jackson.
Yeah,
respect Reggie Jackson. That's crazy.
Peachy Brown sent through a super chat, said, "Salute, fellas. I just wanted to show some love. Started watching this show when Ticket joined. Thank you for being a very knowledgeable panel. It's needed on YouTube."
Ticket necessary. Ticket is necessary.
I wouldn't say a very knowledgeable panel, but I guess.
Much love, much love.
Appreciate you.
Speak for yourself, Mars.
Yeah. Teddy Hart says Scottie is arguably the best defender ever and doesn't have a single Defensive Player of the Year award. Stuff like this is why I lean way more on ability than accolades when comparing all-timers. Marcus Smart has more defensive player of the years than Scottie. That's disgusting.
Those last two sentences are facts.
Yeah,
The first sentence was criminally egregious.
He's not even better than Kawhi or Drew Holiday.
Yes, he is.
Okay, but
yes, he is. Yes, he is. And I know what you're trying to start. I know what you're trying to start, Lo. Yes, he is.
To be fair,
one of them had to defend KD. The other one doesn't. So I don't know.
Who guarded LeBron in 2014?
Guard LeBron and KD is way.
LeBron guards himself. That's not.
Oh man. KD has the deepest bag I've ever seen in my life from a 7-footer perspective, bro. That's trying to defend that is crazy.
You're lucky George Gervin wasn't 7 feet.
He still wouldn't have it. He still wouldn't have a deeper bag. And Scottie Pippen still didn't defend him, so it doesn't matter. Actually, it doesn't matter.
Defend against Dominique Wilkins, though. Yes, he did.
Scottie
defend against
he
had to defend against Larry Bird.
Kevin Durant is still better than both of them.
Even if he
without rings, how's KD better than Dominique?
He's a better ball handler, mid-range, 3-point. Oh, no way. You're crazy.
Wait, Mars, you value rings?
He said without.
No.
That's why
he's saying take the rings off the table.
No,
he's trolling, Dale.
I know. That's why I wanted to answer the question.
That's why you're looking like that. This is terrible.
Yeah,
How's Dominique better? How is KD better than Dominique, though?
Facts. How?
Like I just said before.
No, you was lying. So tell the truth.
Better 3-point shooter. Is that a lie?
Okay.
Better mid-range shooter.
Cool. You can have that.
Better mid-range shooter. Is that a lie? Better post up.
False.
Better. She's way more shiftier. Way better handler. Much better post player.
Defender.
Better handler than Dominique. So we're just lying.
Well, we talking about offense. I thought we were talking about offense. Like defending the two.
Dominique played defense?
No.
Yes,
but
Dominique did play defense.
Not Dell.
Yes, he did. Yes, he and Low thinks his logic is the gospel. Dominique did play defense. He didn't play defense to an all-league defensive standpoint, but he did play defense. I mean, yes, he did. That's not true.
Defense, but like,
right?
Dell, come on.
When someone says, "Did they play defense?" Remember, were they like really, really good at?
Right.
Okay.
It was like 7 players back then playing defense. Like, come on, let's be honest with ourselves, bro. We don't play defense.
And none of it was beyond the 3-point line. So I mean.
Just guard.
I don't really know what to do. I don't know.
Did Dominique ever guard somebody like Trae Young?
Yeah, Scottie didn't have to guard players like Trae Young, like KD, like Kyrie, like LeBron. It's just so much more difficult.
Just have to guard the guys like Mark Jackson who post up from his baseline. Like, come on, what are we doing right now?
And Drew Holiday and Kawhi will look like all-time defenders defending Mark Jackson as well.
And if Scottie Pippen played in this era without hand checking, what you discounting that Scottie Pippen was a very smart defender, so he could play defense without hand checking, and he could still be. He could definitely play defense.
Yeah, he could play it the same way Dominique was playing. I mean, yeah.
No, he could definitely be just as effective, if not more effective, playing defense without hand checking. Yes, I think he could be more effective. Simply, and the reason why I think he could be more effective is because of how good he was off the ball playing defense. Of how he could keep the basketball away from guys. Kawhi Leonard, 100%. If you watch Kawhi Leonard, and you are a film guy, if you watch Kawhi Leonard, how much you see him off the basketball, how he falls asleep, how he's chilling on defense. Scottie Pippen is always active off the basketball, not just active off the basketball. His rim protection off the basketball, not just one-on-one. His ability to get in passing lanes and create fast breaks and speed up the game off the basketball, much better than Kawhi Leonard. So if you're taking hand checking off the table, Scottie Pippen, who plays in today's game at 6'8" with a 6'10", 6'11" wingspan, is still elite.
No, defense is easy, but he's just not better. And it's easier for you to stay attentive.
I have KD response.
Oh, well, let me say that real quick. It's easy for you to stay attentive in the 90s when
it's pretty vulgar. It's pretty vulgar.
Go ahead, go. Well, can you say it here? Oh, well, I guess not.
We might need some censorship.
I guess don't say it then. Don't say
it.
No. You gotta say something.
Imagine being a person I don't know. Just think his basketball tastes are trash and rooted in emotion because he loves Braun and looks at me as a threat. Which show how much of a, and then it gets vulgar.
I guess you gotta just tell me behind. I was about to say I don't love LeBron.
So everyone who
Yo,
hates
bro, he
KD
just.
loves
I'm about to
LeBron.
say, yeah, he thinks everybody who thinks who's like critical of him
But I
just love LeBron. I don't love LeBron.
I don't think he thinks that everybody's critical. Maybe he watched some of your Braun takes and compared it to his. I don't think he thinks. I don't
How many
think,
Braun takes are?
I don't know.
I thought he said he should have said
I'm making a
Giannis.
lot of clips of Lo shitting on LeBron. Actually.
That's what I'm
But
saying,
I'm
especially
just
this
saying-
year.
I'm just saying what he. I don't think he thinks you love Braun like what y'all trying to say. But yeah, it got pretty intense.
Well, I guess you could just tell me off camera.
Yeah,
You send it to me or whatever.
I don't hate KD. I was a Warriors fan.
I thought, you know what's so crazy when he said that in his space too, because he said that he's like you biased towards other players as well. I could have sworn Dale must have been throwing crazy Giannis my Giannis propaganda towards him. That's what I thought you were saying.
No, I don't ever. He sees, honestly, he goes to play shores and watch those stuff on his own. I've never had to send him anything. Like
That's
ever.
crazy.
Then
This year I was shitting on LeBron.
Ask Ron, Shaq. I've never. If he sees a pop up, he sees much as they have a lot of time. He sees and he, like I said, people hate it, but I always told him I never. People always be like, "Yo, why don't you tell him stop responding to people and stop?" I'd be like, "Why?" Like he literally, he likes really talking basketball. Like he really likes that part of it. So people like, "Oh, you're Kevin Durant. Why are you responding to someone you don't know?"
Yeah,
he's human. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like the fact that, yeah, I like the fact that
we got to get him on the show then.
That's
hey, man.
Damn, Dub, you good?
I'm Dub, you're not being told to say this.
I know,
time,
Dub, you're not being told to say
this.
Hey, yo, Dub, what size are they?
That's crazy.
The knee pads.
The
knee pads. What size are those knee pads, bro?
Y'all are
just saying, we just got to get
all right, so we gonna keep it pushing. Dub, don't answer that. Lit17 said Kawhi literally had teams putting their best offensive player in the corner with him while the rest of the team played 4-on-4. Was Scottie doing
Scottie
that?
Pippen. No, Scottie Pippen wasn't doing that. But what he was doing, he was completely shutting down your offense by taking out your point guard. He was completely shutting down your offense by keeping the basketball away from your best player. He was doing that, completely thwarting your offense. So yeah,
it's easy to do back then.
Of course it is. Just like it's easy to do a lot of stuff today too. Like it's easy to
that
get
is
shots
true.
off today.
Yeah,
so.
offensively, yeah.
Yeah, offensively, yeah. For
not
sure.
defensively.
Not
Make it harder
defensively.
for defense,
Yeah, they do make it harder for defense.
They go
Rudy Gobert in the 90s wins 6 defensive player of the years, but I mean,
he's probably the best defender ever.
Yeah, facts. But,
He just standing in the lane all day.
Yeah, I mean, all you gotta do is just stand there and just be tall. So difficult. Crazy.
It looks like Ox is amused by you guys, by the way. Vignesh D said Kawhi and Butler are the only two players in history with more steals than fouls. With hand checks, Kawhi clears Scottie easy. Kawhi's wingspan is like 7'3", same as Giannis.
I ain't gonna be. Imagine Kawhi with a hand check, bro. Jesus.
What is Kawhi's signature moments in terms of I know he's a defensive player of the year, but when I think what's his signature moments? So just remind me of
in the 2014 playoffs, he got a chase down block on Russell Westbrook. That was very clutch. I remember that. Like vividly, I remember that block.
He picked up Giannis. He picked up Giannis in 2019.
Yeah, he also. I mean, yeah. Some would say he looked up the MVP in 2019.
Let's make sure now. Before you go any further,
some people say that about Magic Johnson and Scottie, so I guess they're both.
Hold on. But let's hold on before you go any further, Mars. This is the same dude who said that he shut down Giannis in 2019, but we've seen the film, and whenever Giannis was on Kawhi Leonard,
we
Giannis
know
was smoking him.
We know.
But
anyway,
signature moment doesn't need to be true. It just needs to be said enough for people to believe.
Because Scottie's signature moment is that he locked up Magic Johnson for the remainder of the 91 series.
That doesn't happen, but people still believe that. I saw someone in the chat today say that. So
that wasn't his signature moment. Even though he did do a great job on Magic. Yes, he did do a great job of slowing Magic down.
Is Bird a better defender than Kawhi because he has a bigger signature moment?
You see, and it's
take it.
Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, Joe. I don't want to disrupt you.
No, I don't think so. Because if we're going, or when I say signature moments, I don't just mean Bird steals it or blocked by James. No, I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about for example, LeBron James in 2011 in the Eastern Conference Championship, completely slowing Derrick Rose down throughout that series. Or LeBron James in 2012 20 against Jamal Murray in the Western Conference Championship, slowing him down late in the game. That's what I'm thinking about when I think about signature moments. I'm not thinking about one specific play. When I think about Scottie Pippen as a defender, completely throwing the Indiana Pacers in '98 off their offense because they weren't prepared for Scottie Pippen to cover Mark Jackson, and throwing that offense, throwing a loop in that offense, stuff like that. When I think about Kawhi Leonard, I think about him being, even though Scottie Pippen was also on a great defensive team, I'm thinking about a guy in Kawhi Leonard who was in San Antonio, who was on also a great defensive team, playing with a great anchor like Tim Duncan that was already going on before he got there.
I still think that what Kawhi did in 2019 is more impressive than anything that I've seen Scottie Pippen do.
Defensively?
Defensively, yes.
And then he shut down Westbrook.
2016,
he was held to had to.
But yeah, I was gonna say that series, but because they lost, I didn't know how it would be received. But
exactly, I was thinking that too. See, and that's what, and I made that point before. Like in 2016, he was guarding Westbrook primarily. Russ had a terrible series, but they still won because Kevin Durant. Hey, what's good?
Respect Andre Roberson. Respect Andre.
What up, little dude?
But yeah, the thing is, like, and I talked about it before, like. Like, why are we bringing up moments? Like, and that's part of the drama category that I talked about it. Like, why do we need like moments to sit here and like define people? Like, that's just so like weird.
Are you calling Chiller casual?
It's just chill before. I'm not calling him casual. I'm just saying.
Stand on it now.
I'm not calling him a casual. I would never. But the thing is, it's just things like that impacted people, especially from that.
Let me ask a question though.
But it's not but that's the thing though. I think you're taking it as a moment, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not just thinking of it as a moment, because a moment is short. When I think about guys doing something like Scottie Pippen, for example, doing what he did against Magic Johnson in the finals in 1991, and then moving on and doing what he did against the New York Knicks in the Eastern Conference semifinals in '92, right? Doing what he did in 1991 against the Detroit Pistons defensively, what he was doing against them in 1991, or in 1993 in the playoffs, doing what he did against the New York Knicks and coming up as big as he did. As good as he was offensively, he was even better defensively, slowing these guys down. So I don't want to just stick to one moment, because again, I can't reiterate this enough. There's definitely more than Bird steals it or blocked by James. There's definitely more to it than that. Way more to it than that.
Hey, real quick, and I only remember Kawhi. Can you remind me who else it was, Ron? After, but I want to just kind of point out: is that crazy to y'all? Like, to me, it's nuts to think that somebody has more steals in their career than what was it, fouls?
Fouls.
Yeah, I think that's a crazy stat. Like, I don't know about y'all. Maybe it's just because when I used to play, I used to be a hacker. You know what I'm saying? But like,
that's a dope stat.
God,
that's a dope stat right there. 100%.
More steals in your career than fouls. I think that's a fire stat for real. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a dope stat.
It was Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler was the other name.
Jimmy. Okay, it was Jimmy. Yeah, that's
what.
I don't know. That's crazy to me.
When y'all ask defensive moments, what does that mean?
I don't know. I don't know. I think the way that we consume basketball is trash sometimes.
Well, I think
yo, I'm about to go.
Wait.
When I say again, when I say more,
because my bad, Chitchat. But I'm not finna let Mars and Dub get away with that, because y'all, Mars, don't start Mars, because y'all was the ones. I remember this distinctively. I remember. Why do I remember it? Because Ron still hasn't given me my $10 for that plane Wi-Fi I got when. And when at the end of the flight, y'all was trying to swear me down that Kawhi didn't do nothing against Giannis in that series. But now, to discredit Scottie Pippen, y'all were talking about that.
That's what is told. That's what's told. That's why Iguodala is a better defender than Scottie too. Look what he did to LeBron in the finals. Look what he did.
I'm out.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna take part in the trolling.
All right,
all right,
make sure you send
Mars, you the Randall off. You see what you done did?
Yeah. It was nice having that.
I'm gonna say.
What's the next super chat? Let me see before I quit this. Oh, we out. One? Yeah.
Vic Niche D said Dame is fake as well. Get a supermax knowing damn well Portland ain't gonna win anything. Now pretending he is all about winning, hiding behind the loyalty tag. Bradley Beal is worse than Dame.
You're mad at someone for getting that money.
I ain't gonna lie, that sounds like a real one to me, boy.
Not too controversial. Love is love.
Make sure you send the which call to me, Dan.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm back.
No, but I got love for Dame, but I feel the same way. Don't sign that crazy extension. You about to get paid $50 million and $60 million, all this money, and then act like you're disgruntled with your front office.
No, I'm gonna get my money. I'm not
mad at you, Lo, if you didn't get your money, Lo. I would be upset with you, Lo, if you didn't get your money. Like, Lo, what are you doing?
We talked about this before. Now, I'm not mad at you for getting your money, but you can't have it both ways. You can't get your money and then be like, well,
I will.
not.
Yes, you can.
I can. The owners do it all. The owners do it all the time.
No matter how much he complains, he's still getting that money. So he's definitely having it both ways.
The owners do it all the time. They do it all the time. They pay.
Hey, Ron, I got to bounce, brother.
They act like they didn't do it. Yeah, they do it all the time.
Fellas, I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Easy, brother.
Yeah, the GMs and owners, they do it all the time. Like, I'm about to do it as well. Shit. Y'all better give me some, man.
Get your money, Dame.
I ain't mad at Dame for getting his money.
Now, I'm not mad at him getting his money. I'm not afraid of this. I'm not mad at the contract Fred VanVleet just signed. I'm not mad at none of that. Like, I want you to get paid.
What he just signed?
That 2-year 86.
Is it confirmed? I thought it was still rumored.
86.
82.
No.
2 years, bro.
82.
2 years 83.
That's still crazy.
No, that's good. That's okay.
Hey, but what I'm saying, so that's crazy, Lo. You're not supposed to be mad at you got it. You know what I'm saying? I thought we was happy with these brothers.
No, I'm talking about Toronto from a Toronto perspective. That's
no,
crazy.
Houston.
No,
Houston. I don't know why he's giggling. I don't get it. I don't get what's so funny. I don't get
it.
Do it, Lo.
But that's what I'm saying. Now look. Now if you take that bag though, are you then entitled at the end of the series, during the series or season? I mean, not series. I'm sorry. Are you then entitled to complain about your roster though? Like,
yes.
Obviously get your money. But if you're gonna get that money, then just play ball. Don't complain about nothing. You know what I'm saying?
But if they lied to me and said this is what we're gonna do and they didn't end up doing it, then yeah, I am entitled to.
No, I'm talking about if everything is copacetic.
Yeah.
What they said they were gonna do anyway. I mean, at that point, it's kind of.
I'm mad y'all changed the topic while I was trying to get into this moments bag with Chilltown, man.
No, that's a nasty bag. It's a nasty.
It literally just proved my point. What I said earlier, like the drama that people get invested in, bro. Oh man,
that was a good point though, and I do agree with you. Like basketball wouldn't be as popular if it wasn't for the storylines. If it wasn't for LeBron leaving and going back to Cleveland, if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for KD going to Golden State, like that a lot of that makes it entertaining. But still, though,
like, real hoops though.
No,
man.
but that's crazy.
That's the NBA. That's the NBA.
I just don't like the way. I think
basketball.
I think the way that
most people don't watch basketball. They watch the NBA, and then when they do watch the NBA, they don't care. Like they're not going out their way to watch Orlando versus Detroit.
What happened?
What
happened to our purists?
I understand that, Morris. I understand that, like watching teams that you're more fond of as opposed to teams that are garbage. Like I can get behind that, but still though, like I'm still not watching it for the drama though. Like,
there's people, but that's what people only watch LeBron or KD just to push agendas. Literally, that's the only reason I watch them.
And Bob, and I will honestly say, like I know, like. Which you like the way you talk basketball. I know you just enjoy the game. Like you just like watching hoops. You just like being a part of it. And like, it don't even matter if it's an NBA. You could just go outside and just enjoy the game, just going outside playing at the park. Right. Like you love that shit. But there's some people like, and a lot of their arguments, like, and you don't even do this at all. Well, I don't remember it. Like they're harp on like LeBron coming back from 3-1 comeback or as a stamp of him being in a GOAT conversation. That's drama talk, bro. That's a drama talk. That's a storyline talk. And that's too many people do that, and I don't like it. I just don't like
96% of conversations.
Yeah,
exactly.
For sure. And I got like 96 super chats, so let me get down
run
to
through them, bro. I just think the way
he really does have like 96.
He has 31.
And the thing is, and I want people to understand.
Oh wow, you gonna do it again, even though he has 31 super chats? Wow.
No. I just
because last time
we have open gym right now.
Just say it on open gym.
Time out. Wait, just real quick. I want people to understand just because you talk like that don't mean like you're a casual. It just means like that's just what your mindset is.
So you could watch the game.
That
that's
literally means you're casual.
Yo, Dub, that camera is crispy, Dub.
I know, right? It's mad crisp.
Yo.
Yeah, it's mad. Whoa, why you? Whoa, what?
What's wrong?
No way you're blowing kisses, bro. No way.
You gonna check me out? You gonna,
what? What? Am I gonna do what?
Little wink too.
This is crazy, man. I was just complimenting the camera. The camera's fire, bro.
Yeah, your camera clear too, yo.
Yo, come on. We gotta get moving.
Look at you. See, you do it differently. Now you put it on the face. Nah, come on, bro. Take that camera off from you. Ain't got
Yo,
I see
chill.
your
Right.
stuff.
Yo, Ron.
Yo,
Let's go to the next one, man.
All right, here we go. Let's try to get down to 75. Where Giovanni Davara said, where would y'all rank Dream if he won in 86?
Probably the same place.
I got him at 8, so he'll probably stay there.
Same place, man.
I think I got him at like 6, so probably stay at 6.
I got him at 8.
So got him 3.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? Matter of fact, I think I could, if he would have won in 86, I could switch him and Brown. So Brown would be 8 and he'd be 7.
Who are you talking about?
You have Hakeem 3rd all time.
No, he'll never be over Kobe.
I'm sorry, 4th. I'm sorry.
He's already 4.
Yeah, you have him 4.
Yeah, you have him 4th. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll stay stamped.
Devin said, unpopular opinion. PEDs within reason should be allowed. No trend or D-ball. If you know, you know. Only things to increase recovery and athletic longevity.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not.
I don't hoop.
I don't care about PEDs as long as it's not in a combat sport.
I don't hoop, so I don't do any of this stuff. So y'all have to teach me, bro.
I wish I had me some PEDs.
Okay.
PEDs just unlock what is already there. It's just to the highest level, and I don't really see athletes at the highest level.
Somebody said, "I wish I had PEDs." Crazy. That's a crazy.
Well, I'm just saying though, like shit, my knee be hurting, bro. So, I can't stop playing. I need some PEDs.
You want to know something crazy?
No, bro. He's almost done on the next super chat, bro.
Nah, I'm not gonna say it. I don't want to give people bad ideas. Thank you. Go ahead, Ron.
Teddy Hart said, this super chat thing work? My last couple donations got skipped.
Oh,
he tapping on it like, is it working?
Facts. Like, damn, this man ain't reading this shit.
Appreciate
but for real
though,
like, y'all wouldn't take PEDs if you had some? Like,
I mean, the way the crackheads could just absolve pain, bro. I mean, drugs be something giving some people superpowers, bro.
I'm saying like the sometimes the marijuana don't help the aches and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta step it up a bit.
Peachy Brown with the super chat says, so Kyrie is meeting with the Suns and the Mavs? Shaking my head.
Yeah, that's how free agency works.
Yeah, that's what they're about to do.
Multiple teams. That's usually how it works.
Isn't it crazy that he really probably only has like 2 suitors? Isn't that crazy?
No, that's not crazy, bro. Nobody wants to deal with that shit, bro. Like
it's like low. Yes, it's crazy to think of the fact that this dude is so good, but his problems are so much overweighing than his talent. Like
his problems are overblown by the media, but it is what it is.
But do you think 3 years ago we would have been like, if Kyrie's a free agent, only like 2 teams would be interested in him? Because how much things have changed like within like a 3 to 4 year span?
Well, apparently when he was going to Brooklyn, the only reason Brooklyn took Kyrie is because KD was coming.
Yeah, but even then there was only they were free agents.
But even back then, he didn't have a bunch of teams that were really looking at Kyrie. They just like Kyrie plus KD. If Kyrie was by himself, how many teams are really looking at Kyrie in 2019?
That's true.
Boston definitely would have been. Yeah,
yeah, but he weren't looking at them. So I mean,
yeah, he was fed up.
It has to go both ways.
That's a good point.
We'll resume this on open.
Nah, you're cooked, bro. Just take it.
No, because I think even now, I don't think there's that many teams even one way looking at Kyrie. Like, I don't think there's that many teams
right now.
Yeah, even right now. I mean, outside of Dallas, like I said, the 2 teams. I think there's only 2 teams that are like even looking at him like, oh yeah, we want you.
I think Miami might want them. I think
super chats.
You think Pat Riley dealing with that? Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
I think we could. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
we could set him straight. I think we could.
I know, Mars. I know.
It's the Miami Heat culture, bro. We work.
Let him read.
So Kyrie, look, Pat Riley's not dealing with that.
Pat Riley not dealing with that.
He dealing with it.
It's ridiculous, Mars.
I gotta give people second.
Yeah, you tough, ain't you?
The world is about second chances, right?
Just read.
Yeah, Kevin, I'm trying to read your super chat. They keep cutting me off.
Save that hoe. Save her. Because you could be the last one.
Yo, no. Now we really gotta go. Now we really gotta
go.
Is this Dub on cut right now?
Hey,
Dub, see, Zion, you must be Zion's big homie. He getting it from
oh
you.
nah, there ain't nothing. I don't know what.
Can we just read the super chats, please?
Hey,
Falling
come
for
on,
that pregnancy
come
test.
on,
Dub,
Dub.
you ought to be
Mars
saying.
has things he got to do. Mars is
That's
trying to
a-
open up
that's
open
nasty.
court. Devon with the super chat said, I took a shot every time Chilltown said logic, and I ended up with a face tat. I can get behind that logic.
It wasn't a Zion face tag, was it?
Oh, Pimp named Slickback said, I like Chill's point better. The NBA needs to gravitate towards more team fans rather than player fans. Look at how that helped the NFL.
Yeah, I thought that was a good point. It's just very hard to do it because the NFL has masks while NBA doesn't. So it's just
It's a
hard
bit
to
too
do
late
that.
for that now.
It is too late as
It's
well.
already established that you're a players league. You're not really going to just go back.
Like I was telling somebody last night, he said, "Oh, I'm a KD fan," because we was talking about Brooklyn. He was talking about Brooklyn. He was like, "Yeah, we ain't have this, we ain't have that." I was like, "Oh, you a Brooklyn fan?" He said, "No, I'm a KD fan." Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, crazy. Super chats.
Yo,
I can't wait to see MVP KD again, bro.
Word, me too.
Eli the Misfit said, Dub, I'm married, bro. Shaking my head. Hey, yo.
So
You
you
try to
saved
get at
him.
him? No, you try to get at him?
W being a home
calling his wife a hoe is crazy, though.
Crazy.
Oh yeah, you know, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Calling his wife a hoe is actually insane.
I mean, never mind.
Super
Go
chats.
ahead.
Move on.
See, Dub, we tried to save you by reading the super chats. Now you done dug yourself in a hole.
But that crispy camera got him breaking up marriages.
Hey,
Psycho Yamba.
I can break a lot.
He's doing that on purpose. Dub is doing it on purpose. Dub is doing it on purpose. He's doing it on purpose.
Dub don't want to see people get their money's worth. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Y'all, I'm trying today. I'm really trying to be a Dub
Go ahead,
host.
Ron. Go ahead, Ron. My bad.
Instead, I keep getting interrupted by Dub host.
We break a lot of things, man.
Like what?
Why you ain't asking questions? Why are you asking him questions?
All right. I was interested. I'm sorry. It's my job as a host to ask questions. I gotta ask these important questions.
Oh, this is terrible.
All right. Tomorrow, Dub, when you come on, I'm gonna ask you what exactly it is that you like to break. Psycho Yamba said, why does Anthony Simons get disrespected so much by fans and the media? Man averaged 27-7 when Dame wasn't playing last season, and now he's being included in mock trades as salary fill. He's 24.
That's not. He's not a salary filler guy. Like he's actually has true potential. Like I don't know what.
They're just gonna trade him because Scoot and Shaden in the future.
Scoot, man.
FIFA boy said El Host is back.
Facts.
Happy birthday, Ron. I don't know if I sent you a happy birthday. Happy birthday.
What's your
Ron.
birthday? Happy birthday, Ron.
Yesterday, right?
Thank you.
Yeah,
2 days ago.
You ain't say happy
2
birthday
days
to
ago.
me,
I'm
but-
sorry.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
How
still
old
my
are you?
birthday, though.
How old are you?
Don't worry about it.
He's up there.
Hey, when you start saying that's how you know it's over 32 or something like that. Bro.
You know Ron older than me, right?
Oh.
How old are you, Bob?
Old.
Ron, how old are you?
You're like 33.
Ron, how old are you, Ron?
Hey man, I don't know. I'm so old. I didn't forgot how many times my son out of travel.
Are you over 35? Whoa! Look at
You're not
Hey,
that.
I just got good genes, y'all.
You do actually. Yeah, if you getting close to 40, yeah, you definitely got good genes.
I mean, what you gonna fucking buy him a cake too? Shit. Jesus Christ.
I can't.
Stop all this flirting shit.
Bro,
man.
okay.
Not
the one who blew a kiss to us earlier. Not
Yeah,
that
but when
guy.
you got your hand up like this and everything, saying, "Oh yeah, you look good for your age and everything," like, you just looking mad zesty over here, bro.
I see Open Gym's gonna be legendary.
Open Gym is gonna be fire.
And y'all got Mars tight right now, so he about to be on
when Mars trolling, I'm not gonna lie, he's probably undefeated. Troll Mars is like, I don't even know. That dude's different.
Dub. It's not Troll Mars anymore. We just call it TARS. We've abbreviated.
That's
super chat.
That's what y'all about to give all Open Gym. Mars is not gonna let up.
All right. So Drink More Water said also the frozen draft pick rule is kind of dumb. Drink More Water said, "Is the new CBA trying to undo the summer of 2016?"
Yes.
I don't think it is.
Yes. We're not going to see Alan Crabb get $70 million.
Dub, she just sent you the voicemail, Dub.
What, Mars? No, it's not Mars.
Hey, mind your business, man.
You know the salary cap is about to spike again. You know that, right?
But I'm talking about teams can't. I'm acting like I know what the CBA is.
You don't know what.
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
You don't.
You're showing these chats, but not the super chats.
My bad. Wrong chat. Angie Carr said Zion always puts on a show, just not on the court. Angie Carr also said Zion beams stay lit. 360 with the wrist, boy. Kyle Benito said we need Elder Rufus' opinion on Zion.
Oh man.
Desto said, "Happy belated, brother Ron. Stay blessed." Appreciate
you. In the super chat when it was my birthday. I see how it is.
When was your birthday?
Yesterday.
He got about 5 birthdays.
No, it was not. No, it was not.
I've heard it's Mars' birthday at least 3 times this year.
Super chats.
It's not. It wasn't your birthday, boy.
OJ Weston said, "Peace. Start bench cut. Malone, Garnett, Barkley."
Garnett, Barkley, and then the other guy.
Yeah.
No comment.
J Rob's burner account said, "Ticket. Mavs need defenders. They don't want them."
That was such a bad take from him.
YSN Money said, "Top 5 All-Star games and top 3 All-Star game performances."
Oh, man.
I don't watch many All-Star games.
I think the best All-Star games was probably in like the 2000s, and I was young.
There was one where AI was going crazy. I can't remember what year it was.
I did like that one when Kawhi just got All-Star MVP. When they
Was
first,
that was 2020, I think.
Was it? Or was it the year before? I think it was
2020. I think it was his first year on the Clippers.
Carmelo, I like the one where Kyrie won it.
2014.
2014. I thought that All-Star game was good. And I think there was another one where Melo went off, but I don't think he had the All-Star game MVP. I don't remember.
I mean, Steph making 16 threes was kind of
crazy. That was insane.
Man, they weren't trying. I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah,
and he was folding when it came to break the record. He was selling in that
because he's not built like that. I told you he's a front runner, bro.
Facts, but super chats though.
Yeah. Also, the Jordan Kobe All-Star game too. That one was dope.
For sure.
Yeah, you have to be old.
I guess.
But I don't go back to rewatch. I don't go back to rewatch All-Star games though. Like
same.
09 Magic or this year's Nuggets team? Who you got?
The Nuggets in 5.
Give me the best offensive player in NBA history.
All right, y'all. Appreciate you for tuning in. Open Court is coming right now. You guys be sure to go over there, check the guys out. Send your super chats over there. They need it.
Oh, wow. We read them.
Yes. You guys heard it here.
Oh, I see what you did.
Bring me the PED.